Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Players about to start. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of England Squash and Scottish Squash and Racquetball, welcome to the 2017 WSF World Doubles Squash Championships. This year's event reinforces Manchester's status as the world's leading squash destination, and we hope that you enjoy the tournament's unique atmosphere here in the heart of the UK's leading sporting city. We start with the women's final, and I'd like to ask you to give them a warm Manchester welcome as they enter the court. Representing England, the number 5 seeds, Jenny Duncalf and Alison Waters. Ladies and gentlemen, their opponents from New Zealand, the top seeds and defending champions, Joel King and Amanda Landers Murphy.
So hello and welcome to our first final here, the women's doubles final.
Ladies and gentlemen, could you please show your appreciation for our finalists?
I'm joined live in the commentary booth, this time with MSA alumni, former...
Ladies and gentlemen, having topped their pool group, the England team were awarded a walkover in the quarter-finals following the withdrawal of Malaysia's Nicole David and Rachel Arnold due to an injury to Rachel. The English pair reached the final by beating India's Joshua Chinappa and Deepika Pallikal in a hard-fought 3-set semi-final.
Yeah, I think this has been the one that I've been looking forward to, actually.
Alison Waters and Jenny
and Al have looked
Duncalf.
very, very good in the lead-up to this. They were a bit slow to start yesterday, I thought. But once they got going, they really did do well. They started to get in front a little bit more. And you know, Jenny was talking about how she just started a little bit slower when she was in the commentary box after a match yesterday. So I definitely think they're getting better and better as the round goes on. It's going to be a tough one though, tough one against the Kiwi pairing. They're defending champions in this category. They won this event last year, and definitely, you know, a lot of experience in Joel King. She won a few medals. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. Well, I mean, for this pairing, I think, what were you looking at that's gonna come out? What do you think the key strengths are going to be, Sidders?
I think watching Alison was big yesterday because she's really strong on that forehand, especially when she gets in front. She's quite attacking. There's a lot of variety in her play. Jenny as well, to be honest, was great yesterday. Lots of variety on the backhand, going in short, mixing it around, and I think that it's going to be two really good battles. Obviously, we've got Joelle and and Amanda, like 2 big forehands on there, which is going to be tough for the guys. But it's a big occasion. You never know what can happen, and I think the English pairing are up for it, and obviously the Kiwis are very, very strong, as we know. They're the champions at the moment, and they'll be feeling really confident going forward. But it's very, very interesting, I think, Josh. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I think one of the big things yesterday, I think, was once Jenny got that backhand drop working, the partnerships just started to come for this pairing. I think that was the bit where the slow start, I think Jenny clipped a few tins and maybe made a few errors on that backhand drop, but as soon as it started going up, some of the partnerships came off it and the space came off it, and the angles down the middle of the court started to open up a little bit more. So definitely interested to see how they get started in this match, and if they can start a little bit better than they did yesterday. Interesting to note as well, obviously Alison and Joelle are going to be in the mixed as well, so that's going to be something that might play a part later on as the day goes on. So I'll be interested to see what might come into this. They're probably going to end up with 2 hours of doubles back to back here. So whether or not they try and maybe pick on their oppositions there, to maybe particularly for the Kiwis, going into the one layer. Both nations are fighting out in the mixed as well. So maybe that might be a tactic. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Yeah,
definitely. I think like they're all very, very strong now and very, very experienced in singles and are very, very fit, obviously. Obviously doubles is a completely different game as it is. It's long. You've got to be, I think, more mentally there as well. It's so tough. Like we looked at some of the matches yesterday. I think the Scottish pairing, Alan Klein and Greg Lobban played yesterday against the Kiwis, and I think that was 80 odd minutes, and that was really tough. And did Paul play back to back like yesterday?
Yeah, I think that came into yesterday a bit. Against that Scottish pairing, I think as it got long and tough, as strong and as fit as Paul Cole is, I think it was more mental, as you say, how you can fight through that length of time on court, and maybe that will be a factor as we get into the mix later on, where if these two end up on court for a long time. So we were saying about this pairing, obviously very strong pairing, 2 forehands, which is obviously a bit of an advantage, just gives you a bit more attacking opportunity in this doubles if you can get a lefty-righty combo. Joelle yesterday looked very, very strong in the match that I watched her play. Very strong to length, opening up spaces at the front of the court and then capitalising into the back corners, which is nice to see. That was a nice one there, wasn't it?
Save them.
Yeah, so there's that big forehand. So I think that strength might come through. She's the experienced one out of these two. So hopefully this will be a really nice match. I think it's going to be a good one to open up.
Yeah, I think, like I said, like watching Joelle play, on tour and stuff, and I've seen Amanda play a little bit. She used to play Yorkshire League for us in Queens, so shout out to Queens Club if you're anyone from there listening. So I've seen Amanda play a little bit as well, and just both very, very attacking, and I think that's going to be, a big factor who can get in front in this match. And I know, like I said, it's all up in the air. It's going to be a great match by the looks of things.
So one of the big things we were talking about yesterday, obviously this doubles game's got a lot more interesting with the lower tin to those that weren't watching across the rest of the week. Lower tin and wider court definitely has made it more of an attacking game, opened up more angles and more intrigue into it. And the other thing for new viewers to be aware of is if it goes to 10-all, we've got the sudden death scenario, which we've seen a few of those across the week, and really has created some intrigue in the matches, some interesting choices on pressure points, and I think that's going to definitely come into these finals, big games, and the characters definitely have to show.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's that one point like yesterday. I think Daryl and Ali had 2 11-10s, which it was obviously one went one way, one went the other, and it could be just as tight in this match. So it's who plays the big points well, and everyone on that court, all 4 of them have got a lot of experience of playing at a top level, so hopefully.
So you're going to make a call then, Sidders. What do you reckon with this one? We're going to make a game call.
Being the Englishman I am, I'd love it for Alison and Jen to win. But like I said, it's a tough match. But Obviously, got to go with the home favourites, surely, in my home city as well. So, yeah, I've got to go for the English girls.
You're going to give a game score on it? Are you going to go for a game score?
No, I'm not that confident.
No?
I don't think I'm that confident yet.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 to the English.
2-1 England.
I'm going to,
I'm not bad. Not a bad choice. That's along the routes I'd go.
Yeah,
So.
I know you like sitting on a fence, Sid.
Yeah,
so.
I'm a big one for sitting on the fence and stuff like this.
Manchester 2017.
So Joelle's going to kick us off.
Final. Joelle King, Amanda Landis-Murphy, New Zealand to serve. Jenny Duncalf, Alison Waters, England to receive. Best of 3 games. Love all.
And we're off. Here we go. So first final of the day. Oh,
straight down the middle from Jen.
One,
yeah, we'll take that one.
One love.
it's interesting to see how they settle. There's a great start for the English pair and a cheap point start off, and then Jen's got that backhand drop in. So maybe this will be what we want. Definitely what we want as the day goes on.
Yes, led. 2 love.
Yeah, I think like the first few rallies in this, Josh, it'll be more figuring out who's stronger where. Obviously, they know each other quite well from watching and things, but it's a totally different scenario when you're on court with when you're playing them, I guess. And obviously, Joelle's just shown that big forehand straight away there early doors. Just letting Alison know she's not going to let anything go there.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting seeing how they settle. I know that the English team obviously got their video analysis. Gareth doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and he's been working hard across the week doing some analysis on all the pairings as they come through. And I definitely know that from experience seeing them down here training, that the English guys have done quite a lot of doubles prep and thought about it a lot more. With obviously 3 medals awarded at commies for doubles, you can really take some advantage if you can figure this game out and apply your skills from the singles game into the doubles game. Definitely can pay some reward to you, and some of the older players definitely gives them a bit more longevity as well in their career. As much as it's still very physical, I think it does give the opportunity to potentially get some medals later on in your career. Obviously, Jen and Lala have been around for a while now, so they're probably looking at trying to maybe do well in the Gold Coast next year as a pairing, and definitely have shown what it takes to get some medals.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, like in Commonwealth, I think Joelle's won 1 gold and 1 silver, is it? They're very, very experienced in doubles, and it's, like it's a really, really close encounter so far. Quick fire points actually, Josh, which I didn't think had be happening so soon. But the Kiwis are firing that ball in, and they're responding England quite well, and it's
it's that backhand drop again.
Yeah,
just when that space opens up on that backhand side, there's ability to finish it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like it's the pace of doubles is actually a lot quicker than it has been. Due to the low tin and other, like
there's that down the middle shot.
Down the middle.
Yeah, talking about it's using that whole court as well, embracing the fact that you've got some spaces that you're not used to hitting.
Of course.
Available. Yeah, it's definitely been a faster tempo. I think the pairings do get caught into that quite quick interchanges, hard hitting kind of stuff. And it's interesting, some of them yesterday were starting to use a bit of height, change it up a little bit. And I definitely, personally, I like to see that kind of stuff going on. But it's interesting seeing how they try and figure out the game and figure out the angles that they can create.
For sure. I mean, it's looking really quick so far. Like we see Joelle and Alison going at it big time on the forehand, and obviously the Kiwis got a little bit maybe of an advantage with two big forehands. But Jenny's obviously more than capable than dealing with that, I feel. But very, very quick start, Josh, I feel. A lot of quick points, a lot of attacking play. Over there from Amanda, a great little trickle boast there going forward.
That's where those cheeky little shots going in can be quite effective in this game, and you can catch someone off if they're just not quite on their toes. Of
course, yeah. Like we saw yesterday, like Jenny said, she started a little bit slow. And, like the Kiwis obviously looked at that and got in quite sharp, quite early doors. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes out. I don't think the English pair can sit back here a bit. I think they might have to go with them a little bit and go quite short and stuff like that. It's not going to be more of a length base, I think.
Yeah, I think so far it's looked to me a lot of angles going into the front. See, I was drawn in both the players there. Obviously a little bit of a trip, but
yeah.
7-3.
Yeah, very, 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 very disciplined off the Kiwis so far. There's a lot of variety going on, as I said earlier, as they were warming up, and I think that, like I said, they're very, very attacking here, and it's England need to find a way of combating that the best they can.
It's interesting how they whip that across there. One of the things we were picking up yesterday a lot on the commentaries, in the women's, if you can get that ball flying quickly across court at the different partner, and you get some momentum in the rally and get on top, your partner can get on top then. If you can get a good cross court, either using the width down the middle or the width right wide into the sidewall. Just watching Amanda there, obviously it's that strength and stability then to keep balanced when that ball's flying at you quite quickly. There's been a couple where she's sort of leaning back a little bit.
Well, there's first probably error, I think, off the Kiwis there, but you know, it's the right kind of stuff to play in, I think, to combat this England side.
4-7.
4-7, so 3-point gap is quite a big gap.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to close this down in the mid part here.
It's quite, it's one of those, I feel, in doubles though. Like we've seen, like, I think, was it the Kiwis who were up 7-1 yesterday?
Yeah.
And you know, in doubles, it doesn't maybe mean as much because the rallies are a bit longer. There's a lot more on there. Obviously, if you're in a pair, and it's quite tough. That was a great shot.
You get those momentum shifts, and you see that in singles, but I think more so in doubles, because I think because the rallies are longer, mentally you have to stay tough, and it can switch.
8-4.
8-4 up here for the Kiwi pair.
See that big forehand again. Well done there, Jenny.
Trying to hustle, get in front a bit, get some position on the court. Ooh. It's a nice little angle. That's where you can create a bit of chaos if you can just mix it up. But that's well put away.
No let.
No let from England now.
9-4.
So that's where the referee, and you know, like looking at the referee, and we've spent quite a bit chatting about that yesterday, just so you start to get familiar with it. Because it is different to singles. Very few strokes given. Obviously, quite a lot of lets can creep in with just a bit of safety. But no let there. Trying to get them to play the ball. That's the main thing that the refs are really trying to work hard on, because you can end up with quite a bit of mess in the games if you're not careful. Particularly in the men's, they seem to want to get a bit more.
Yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot of exchanges going in short here, Josh. The Kiwis are putting that ball really short, using that low tin really well. Just catching the England side a bit off guard here, I think.
Yeah.
You know, they've run away with the 9-4 here, and I think there's a bit of dispute over a pickup here, but.
Yes, let. 9-4.
Oh yeah, so it is a let ball. It is a let ball.
Yeah, I think they're playing a let on the pickup, aren't they? I think that's. Okay, so they're playing a let on that. Nice little bit of conversation.
9-4.
Down the middle again there, Josh. There's a lot of stuff going down the middle, really quick fire.
Yeah, it's been quite open, quite a lot of switching the sides. I think that comes when the pairs are a bit more.
As maybe
more
when
even.
Jenny played Joshna and Deepika, played them yesterday. It's a lot more down the middle and not as much straight, I feel.
Yeah, I think that happens quite a bit in this when you've got two players that you feel equally are as strong or not too much difference in the players. Obviously here you've got two forehands. Yeah. And that's evened it up. And I'd say that communication there. I feel, you know, Jenny and Al with the forehand backhand combo that they've got going, I think they're quite equal, so it becomes quite hard to pick on someone.
Shot there by Jen. Jen's taken a lot from the middle there, I think.
Yeah, that's turning on that forehand.
Yes,
yeah, which is
doing
quite
the right
good.
thing there.
You know, Jen's really strong there on that forehand kill. Yeah, it's interesting as well, like the serve is so important if you're on the opposite side as well. You've got to make sure you get that serve right over, so it's quite a long way across now, that court, the doubles court.
Yeah, definitely a long way for you.
You've got to think about your serve a lot more.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting, we were chatting a bit yesterday, because there's no written rules on where the sort of non-serve has to stand and things like that, so there's sort of a gentleman's agreement.
I'd be standing on the shoulder if I could, I think.
You'd be parking that bus, wouldn't you, Sidders?
I would be parking that bus, you are correct. It's a great shot by Jenny. That's a great get, though.
That's where it came alive yesterday.
Great shot by Jenny.
That is beautiful. Nice little partnership there. You see working the space long, open up the backhand drop.
So strong there, Jenny. So strong. Good follow through, good technically.
6-9.
That's what we're going to need, I think, a bit more in this match. We're going to have to get Jenny on top on that side.
Yeah, I feel that could be a big factor. As soon as Jenny gets in front there and playing a nice you know, nice little drop shot there in front. It just gets Amanda working forward a bit more, I think, on that side. Oh, it's a great shot.
Oh, it's been a
Great
few
kill.
of those beautiful kills.
Some serious shots going in here, Josh. Doesn't look like anyone's feeling any nervousness going on there.
No,
Everyone's
it's
just
been
feeling,
very
you know,
attacking.
taking it all in, which is great. Oh, bit of a... That ball is flying. It's pretty warm down there.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a crowd as well today. You know,
Yeah, it's busy.
looks quite full down. It was quite busy last night as well. It was nice to see. Good crowds in Manchester.
That is
as
the one
always.
there, the worry where Jenny just goes for it maybe, but it's not quite on. You just maybe a little bit more patient. I'm not too sure, but she's doing great. Oh, it's a great drop again. Using a bit of height there as well. Whoa. Very quick pace, Josh.
Yeah, it's been a
Oh,
great
well
game
played.
to start this off. Some really good squash coming out.
What a great angle that is, Josh.
Seven.
This
Oh,
is,
we got some cheeky little angles.
I like
Jenny
the
was
angles.
liking those later
Fantastic.
yesterday when she was on the
7,
commentary.
9. Left box.
Slowly creeping back here, England. They're doing some good, extending the rallies a little bit more, I feel, than from the first part. You know, a little bit off guard the first half of the game, but they seem to be, you know, increasing the pace a bit now and getting the ball a little bit deeper and stuff.
Yes, led.
Between the legs.
Seven,
Between the legs,
9.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, short
Oh.
ball
To
there.
England.
that's interesting that, because
8,
quite often when it's coming
9.
back deeper in the court, past the short line, those tend to fall as lets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if Jenny hit that one though, it, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, a bit
it's
unfortunate for Amanda there.
just open the door. As soon as you start to get a few strokes, they start asking a lot.
Oh, brought it back. Is that
No
9 all,
net.
Josh? Is that 8-9?
8-9, I believe.
9 all.
Oh,
9 all. Here we go.
Oh, so here we go. So big rally here for both pairings. Played excellent England towards the end of this game.
Just started to get on top, haven't they? Just got a bit more stability in what they're trying to do.
See, it's weird, like when Jenny holds a little bit more on that backhand, it just gets Amanda's movement a little bit more on edge, and I feel like that could, you know, be a bit of a weapon. Even if she, no matter where she hits, just a little bit more hold and hit. That's a great shot.
Yeah, that's going
Yeah, simple let though, I think.
Yes, led. 9 all.
Very close now, but still all players on this court just being very, very attacking, very positive, and I think that's very important in games like this. You can't really sit back.
Yeah, they're both trying to take the front foot, aren't they, and try and put some dominance on what's going on.
There we go, good opportunity, great shot. Down the middle again, a lot of exchanges down the middle this first game. Oh. Is that good, Josh?
Yeah, I think I
that
was
good?
just up that.
Well done.
Interesting
They
little.
played really well.
I think it might have been a little bit of a frame.
10,
Oh,
but
9.
well, we'll take those.
Game ball.
let's see, that's
Hello.
not non-biased commentary going on in here.
Well, slightly.
Oh.
Ooh, that's,
Oh.
I feel that's a bit lucky there, Josh. I think Alison went to play that a
Yeah.
little bit. I'm not too sure.
Game ball.
Not too sure from where
So-
we're sat, but
Put in a good argument. Put their case forward.
no, it's been a really tough game this so far. A lot of exchanges, and then slowly they've weathered the storm a bit. I feel England a bit with the quick hitting, and you know, a lot more going deep. I think
Yeah.
Yes,
that
led.
they've done really well
10,
there.
9.
I think you just
Game
got to
ball.
look at where they're stood on the court as well. They've definitely got in front and started to get their partnerships to work as it's gone on. You know, if you
Yeah,
look
there's been
now,
no
it's
panicking
been-
though, has there? You like,
No.
you know, I think, you know I would. In a scenario like this, you know,
Yeah.
you'd be
Yes, led.
panicking big time of like, you know,
9.
it's
Game
running
ball.
away from you a little bit, and they've really had nothing. They've shown no nerves, have they, England, or
No.
even New Zealand when they've been up. They've been very, very focused, very mentally strong, and I feel that's, you know, it could be a big factor in this match as it goes along. You know, who's got the most mentally to get through this, but it's looking really good so far.
Oh, hang on.
Yes, led.
Oh,
10, 9.
I
Another
was
let
thinking
there.
that might just
Ball.
creep maybe our way. If it was in that front, that we've seen a few of those giving us strokes.
Yeah, it's a big one to give there, I feel, Josh.
Yeah.
Big one to give. Amanda very strong on there on the tee position.
Down.
Oh,
Oh,
they sneaked it.
cheap error.
11, 9.
There you
Sneaked
go.
it.
I'll
So-
tell you what, that's an unbelievable comeback
That's
there
a
and
great
get back
comeback.
into that for
That's a
England.
fantastic comeback from the England
Game
duo.
to England. England leads 1 game
So I
to
think,
love.
you know, that game just showed, didn't it? If if they can get in front and get their partnerships going. We saw that yesterday. Once they got going with their partnerships, they were playing so well, Jenny and Al. And I think for me, definitely want to see them in front and trying to use those partnerships and create the spaces and start to cause a bit of chaos for the pairing. And I definitely think with that hard hitting of the New Zealand pair, they've hit some great kills, hit some great lines to length, and trying to get them back deep stops those becoming winners, I think, in this game.
Of course. It's a typical kind of, squash commentator, but it's a football commentator. It's a game of two halves.
Yeah.
I think that was. I mean, like the Kiwi duo there dominated from the start of that match, and then slowly, like there was a couple of errors off the Kiwis, and then, and the English duo slowly got ahead and just found the length a bit more, I feel, and even going down the middle and stuff like that, and it just bedded in for them a little bit in that game. And I feel, if they can carry on that for this next game, we never know what happens, but obviously I think there might be a little bit of a change in tactics for the New Zealand duo like King and Landers Murphy, but we'll have to wait and see, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. So obviously, Matt, we introduce you. Obviously, former junior coming through the ranks here. Obviously, a lot of top squash happening in Manchester, and you've seen it growing up. And I think that's that legacy that Manchester's got to offer for squash. Obviously, I'm fortunate to be involved in the programme in Manchester, and we've got 2 World Championships in this World Championships, and then again in December.
Yeah.
But what's it mean for people in the city? Because they've seen a lot of squash, and you've come through from Nick Taylor's era, right when the programme started here at the National Centre.
It's huge. I mean, look at all the squash that Manchester's had over the year. Like, it started for me when Nick Taylor was here. So, hi Nick, if you're watching in Jersey, if you've got Wi-Fi on the island yet, that'd be good. So yeah, big shout out to Nick and stuff. And like Vicky took the reins, and Vicky Botwright, or Boswell, she's known now. And it's huge, and it's absolutely huge for squash in Manchester. There's so much going on with yourself, Josh, and the academy, which I came up with, and it's huge. Like, you can see how many people are here now, how much of a big factor squash is in the city. I train here regularly, and it's what I would do without the centre is well, I don't know what I'd do. So yeah, it's a huge legacy which people are leaving and continuing to do for the sport in Manchester.
Yeah, and you're now obviously involved a lot more on the coaching side.
Yeah.
And giving back yourself. So that's great to see that. We talk about legacy with major events, and obviously doubles part of the Commonwealth Games here in 2002, and it really has been a legacy, hasn't there, for squash in Manchester? And I think that's been the big sort of thing. It's a real legacy. It's people have actually got involved in the sport, and we've got programmes that are long-standing since the games, not just for 1 or 2 years, but for good for 10, 15 years now.
Yeah, it's huge for the city. Like you got to remember as well, these guys, Jenny, Alison, they train here. They've been brought up here. They're both national champions here. Manchester's probably got a big.
That was a cracker off that.
No,
forehand.
you're allowed to interrupt me there, Josh, with that kind of finish. There's I love a cross court Nick, so yeah, it's a great shot from Joelle there. See that backhand drop going in again from Jenny, so strong.
Yeah, I think to watch that player off the ball, you see how Al's really hustling on the other side.
Yeah.
To try and get back in front, get her hips in front of Joelle, and give herself that opportunity to see that ball. It's sometimes when that ball's whipping across court quickly, it's just being in front of them just gives you that little bit more vision and a little bit more chance to get on it.
100%. It looks like the New Zealand girls here have upped the pace a bit, somewhat. I think just hitting a bit crisper, towards the back of the court. Not necessarily going short as much, but just a little bit more of an increase in pace. You see Joelle there stepping through. Good quality shot there. He's getting around the ball. So he's quite a long match. So
there's that speed across the court when you're serving from the other side from Joelle. See how that quick hustle to get back across.
Yeah, there's a lot of tough movements going on.
Yes, let. 2-love.
So you've played a bit of doubles sitters, defending champion, I believe, at the old National Squash Centre Open.
Oh, I'm not sure on this kind of standard though, Josh, to be quite honest with you. I normally just stand there and hit. Movement is a big issue of mine at the moment. Always has been, as many people will know.
So that's why you're with Big Lewis then.
Lewis is a runner. Lewis Doughty, if he's listening. How you doing, mate? So yeah, it's huge.
So he ran, you hit.
Yeah, literally, I hit a lot and he ran a lot. Yeah, this is a completely another level to what I am though. Completely, so much tactical
Down.
stuff going on here, and you know, it's crazy how much preparation these guys go through just to, you know, play doubles. Like, you know, when I used to play, obviously, a very, very low standard, like a bit and pubs. You just go on there and hope for the best. But these guys have done so much, you know, background work and stuff on opponents and stuff like that. We kind of forget that, I feel, Josh, like a little bit, that, you know, these guys haven't just rocked up, you know, and, you know, they want to win. There's been so much preparation into cheeky one there,
Yeah.
well, into winning these competitions and Commonwealth. So it's huge for that squash
Yeah, I
players.
think we've seen that with England. I think the teams are starting to catch on. Oh, and there's that cheeky little shot.
Yeah.
If in doubt, just smash it at your opponent.
Yeah, well, you see Alison there's taped up. I think it's a fantastic kill.
I mean, this start
shot.
is a dangerous lead early
5
doors.
love.
Yeah, they're setting the stalls out here. I think New Zealand, they know that they maybe should have won that last game, you know, on paper, but a little trickle boast there.
That's a 6-love lead now. It's built
That's
very, very
substantial.
quickly. And in no time whatsoever, really. That's been a quick build of a lead.
Yeah, it's quick points for New Zealand, and you know, there's definitely been a change of tactic. You know, I think they've hit, you know, the pace has increased, and they're just.
I definitely think they've tried to use those big forehands, haven't they?
It's a great shot by Jen.
More
down the middle.
pace.
Oh,
And
huge!
out.
Yeah, definitely.
Up the pace they're hitting.
1
You're no
6.
stranger to that.
Yeah,
If in doubt, smash it.
exactly. that's half my squash career. It's a good shot by Amanda there, getting Jenny on the back foot. Great length. It shows you, though, doesn't it, in this,
And out.
how much of a good length, if you hit it,
7
it makes such a big
1.
difference. It's still a big factor in doubles as well. You know, as all the variations of hitting down the middle, triple boast, etc., etc. It's still a big factor, hitting a good line and length.
Yeah, I think that's the thing to not lose, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's still squash. If you hit a good line and a good length, you'll open up opportunities.
Yeah, the Kiwis have
See
stepped
how
up big time here.
you see how they're getting in front.
Yeah, Amanda on the forehand side is volleying a lot here.
Yes, led.
And Joelle stepped up, you know, like the shoulder to shoulder. I feel Joelle and Alison on that forehand side now.
Yes, led.
That ball there.
7-1. Yes, led.
It's getting a little bit messy here. A few
7-1.
let balls.
Yeah, they're sticking in though, England. They're sticking in. It's quite tough, but they're sticking in there. It's good quality all round though, I think, Josh. You know, it's really good quality. A lot of tough rallies and mental strength. You know, Jenny and Alison showing that there, coming back from a field 9-4 down.
Yeah. Definitely going to get themselves into this again. They're definitely trying.
Yeah,
trying
the
to hustle a
battling
little
in
bit,
there.
just trying to.
But
create some space.
fantastic shot by Amanda there. Absolutely fantastic.
8-1.
Running away with this now, New Zealand.
Cheeky little drop down the middle, but they've caught that.
Yeah,
You
they're
can see
reading
it.
a bit more now, New Zealand. You know, especially Joelle there, just stepping across into the middle and blasting a few past Jenny there. I feel that she's about 3 or 4 times now.
It's that tempo of the game that they've brought to it. I think that's what they needed to do from the start, and they did do it in the first game, but just not enough.
10-1.
And they've done it all the way through this second
Game
game.
ball.
They've got on top and they've used their strength really up in that tempo. In fact, they've both got forehands, you know, the lefty righty, making it tough and fast.
Yeah, the pace has definitely increased here, but it's not like Alison and Jenny haven't dealt with that. It's just kind of hit them a bit, you know, quite quick. You know, that's a great shot from Jen. Great retrieving there by Amanda as well. Some good battles on that backhand and forehand side, should we say, with Amanda and Jenny.
Yeah.
Out.
So there we go. That's that second
11-1.
game. That ran away
Game
very
to New
quickly.
That was a
Zealand.
quick game, that one, for
One game all.
the English guys have got to
That's
regroup now
dangerous.
big time. I feel, you know, the last thing, it's so hard mentally now to maybe get yourself back in there, but the very experienced Jenny and Alison, I feel, and you know, they could get back in this, you know, relatively quick. It's going to be a tough deciding game. This, I don't think anything will be given cheap now.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to just have to take that. There's a lot of momentum gone into this third game for the Kiwi pair. I think the English pairing have got to get themselves back in front.
Yeah.
That was where it came alive from in that first game. As soon as they got in front, the partnerships came, and if they can do that, that's where this match will be won and lost, I think. It's all about getting in front and getting some partnerships building. Kiwi pair did that very, very well in that game. Very strong mentally to come back from that first game loss, particularly when they were up, to then come back in that second game and take it 11-1.
That's a statement, isn't it, really? Like a statement of how strong they are, I feel. And that was only a 6-minute game compared to, I think the first game was around 14, 15 minutes. And that was, you know, that was, I think it was around that. But that's a statement, I feel, from New Zealand. You know, Joelle and Amanda came on really, really strong there and got themselves really assertive in that game.
That's why they're defending champions. I think, you know, they're a very strong pairing and clearly played together. They know each other, and I guess that helps as well, knowing your partner in this game and knowing mentally how to get each other geared up. I think they clearly did that well coming into the second game. We're interested to see how this third game starts. We're going to need this English pairing to pull out a little bit more. Not being biased, but going to have to pull out a bit more for the neutrals as well. Just get nice third game.
Yeah, of course. It's going to be a tough one. It's a really tough game this for both pairings. It depends. I think whoever gets a good start might prevail in this, Josh. Because you know, obviously in the first game it was a little bit different. Like the Amanda and Joelle came out quite quick. And then I don't think they changed anything. I don't think the English girls battled back, but they had a really good start. And I feel that, you know, if you could start well here, it could make a big difference in this match. So we're into the decider now.
Yep, third game. So I got the 2-1. I definitely got the 2-1. Let's see if we've got the.
I'm going to go for a score. I'm going to go for a score.
You're going to go for a score in this game?
For a score,
oh, that fence! You're coming off it.
Yeah, 1 foot's come off the fence. I'm going to go for a.
New Zealand to serve.
11-8 England.
11-8 England.
Yeah, I've got to back the girls, 100%.
Go on, I'll throw a cat amongst pigeons and go 11-2 England. That's probably unlikely, but I can't go for the same as you.
We're definitely not biased, are we, Josh?
No.
Not slightly.
It's not like we've got 2 Englishmen in the commentary box.
It'll be a bit different if so like Evan Williams or one of the other Kiwi guys were in here. You can see Evan down there supporting his teammates.
I think that's been a big thing. The Kiwis have really got behind each other this event. I think they've
really
approached the fact that doubles is a big part of the major games and the Commonwealth Games.
A great shot by Jenny there. Sorry to interrupt you, Josh. Great cross court there. Good use of the hands. You know, we know how good Jenny's on the backhand draw. Look at that. Good follow through. Good balance on the ball. Great shot. Good start.
2 winners off that backhand drop.
You might be right, Josh, in your prediction, but we never know. Good get by Alison. Good hands. Go on, Jen. Ooh, great shot by Amanda there.
That was well put
Putting the ball in positively. Even though they've went 2 love down there, they've still responded well, New Zealand. Great shot. Another good forehand there by Amanda. She's proving quite well in that forehand. She's doing a lot of damage, especially going cross as well.
Obviously, ranking-wise, she's probably the weakest player on the court, but in doubles on that forehand, lefty forehands, very dangerous. Proving a very good pairing, good matchup. These
definitely.
Two pairs.
Look at that, really solid hitting again. That's 3 points just off Amanda there. Really good forehand. Excellent shot.
3-2.
Great line of length, good angle there to show us. Jenny there, I think she's got to go in a little bit more positive there.
Bringing both players in there and winner, and both of them are trying to get on it.
4-2.
Yeah, I think a little bit hesitant there by Jen maybe, I don't know. But like it started really well in them, but then a few errors creeping in.
Yeah, that's
5-2.
I think our predictions are out the window here already, Josh, to be quite honest with you.
Might be both gone. Oh. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I
I
think
think.
that's
No light.
probably the right decision there.
It's a good call. I think
6,
that's
2.
where both of them are just trying to get out of the way. The ball. Al needs to make more effort to get that ball.
Defending champions here, pushing on really well here, really positive. You know, they've kind of took that momentum from the last game and, you know, soldiered on really. It's a great shot by Jen, backhand again. Keep going on about it, but
yeah, it's just every time
some
that
great winners
backhand
on
drop.
there.
3-6.
Tell you what, we were showing a few videos of that backhand drop
Yeah.
to some of the juniors.
I think we might have to.
It's a bit of a machine drop every time.
No, it's just quality, it's just grooving there.
Out.
They're pushing back a bit now, England, pushing back. Couple
Gonna
of
have to
quick
fight
points
hard,
there.
yeah. So down to a 2-point gap.
4-6.
Great straight drive there from Amanda. Excellent straight hitting, I've got to say, off Amanda's Murphy there on that forehand side. Well, her forehand, my backhand, sorry, should we say.
That's what we were thinking about there in terms of if they could straighten it off on that side. We thought that was where the battle might be won.
Yeah,
Between a lefty forehand and then Jen's backhand, it's whether or not one of them can get on top, I think. So down this to the side
there's a
now.
lot of exchanges through. Oh, good volley, good drop again. Oh,
Yeah,
there's a little bit
Yes,
of traffic.
4-6.
bit of congestion in the front of the court.
Yes.
Well, it's a little bit of a shoulder-to-shoulder football.
I know.
It's still like there.
See a little bit of a team talk going on. Maybe switching some things up. Like I said, I don't think the English duo have done anything particularly, you know, wrong, shall we say, or
Yes, light.
different. But she's
4-6.
like, you know, the Kiwis have just come on and took that momentum and gone short and be positive, and you know, it's shown just in that start of that game. But I think the English guys are settling in a bit now, settling in a bit more. Good hands there from Alison. Good recovery, boast. A lot of Alison and Joelle stuff. That's been around the middle. It's not really been on the forehand side, has it necessarily? It's been on that. It's been on in the middle.
Yeah,
middle part
down
of
the
court.
middle onto their backhands. That's
It's quite. That's a good drop.
There we go
there
again.
We go again. There we go again.
just keep sticking it there.
It's
Go
just
on.
a big weapon, you know. But it's
5,
good there, good
6.
hold, just opening the racket face. Great shot.
You know, that's what you get. I think, you know, Jenny, obviously a former world number 2, having a real strength that you can build your game around. I think it's so important at this top level, isn't it? I mean, something that people might be a bit scared
Good
of,
shot.
and that open up
And
combinations for you. And that backhand drop certainly does it for the English pairing.
7-5.
7-5, 2-point lead to the Kiwis.
Yeah, he's. You know, the England guys will be thinking they've done this before. You know, a little bit of a deficit, but they've come back strong. So hopefully, you know, there's some more left in this. It's a good get. It's an excellent shot. Another good shot down the middle. Can Jen get there? Shot.
Oh, good hustle.
Good recovery.
Got herself back there.
Good get by Alison there, putting everything through that ball. Get herself back into a good position.
Oh,
It's a good get.
bit of chaos.
Great rally this, Josh. Just shows you the different movements and combinations and things you need to play
Oh.
squash. But I think Joelle
Yeah,
just caught
should've
herself
taken
there.
one.
Got herself there.
And out.
Too much down the middle, maybe.
6-7.
It's getting really close now. See the Kiwis there at the front row, Josh,
Yeah, big support.
rallying on. And, the English squash guys, David Campion, Lee Drew. I think Daryl was there a little bit. Daryl
Yeah,
Selby was there
it's-
watching a little bit, but he's obviously got a match to prepare for.
Al's certainly going to be warm.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough to back this up. Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a
Ooh.
lot.
Yes, light.
Got away with that, I think. I'm not sure
7.
how prepared people were to play that one, but keeps England just a point away now. 7-6. 6-7 even. That's a great kill.
There we go.
Oh.
They're going to query that.
See what the referee's got to say.
Yeah. I wasn't too well sighted on it. I thought it was a good shot, but it's whether or not it's just clipped.
I'm not sure what's going on here. Jen's
Yes, light.
Oh, we're going to have to play that on
playing
that
a
one.
let ball.
6-7.
Not too sure of. We couldn't see it from where we're sat.
No, I think that was quite.
It's a fair decision, I
Quite-
think.
yeah,
You know,
I think that's
it's
fair.
one of those things, isn't it? When you playing, if you're not sure, play let.
6-7.
But big time for a let though, Josh.
Yeah,
Big time for a let. 6-7.
6-7.
Could open a 2-pointer. It could be
well, that
matching
could have been
scores.
8-6, couldn't it? 8-6 would have been a nice lead for them. Only a few points away, but
Jen's got herself under that.
Scott.
Excellent. Shot by Amanda down the middle. Down the middle again. Put that ball short. Woo!
yeah, that's
Yes,
a
let.
let. Another
Yeah,
let.
not sure I would
This
have
is where
played
it's
that one
getting
either, Josh.
tense. Yeah, getting tense, edge of seat stuff. Just a few lets.
It is.
A little bit of scrapping it out.
It's everything what we hoped it to be this final. There's a lot going on to 1-all, 7-6, really tight as we predicted.
Yeah, I think we had that down on the cards. It was going to be tight, but let's see what happens at this back end. See if a bit of the experience of the English pair and two very experienced singles players, both experienced in the doubles as well. But
It's a good shot by Amanda there, getting Jenny behind her.
open up that space.
She's opened it up a bit there. She's got
Go
it
on,
back.
keep on
Great
top of it
retrieving
now.
skills. Going for the cross-court nick there by Alison. Good retrieving by Joelle. Great rattle.
Did you get a road player there?
Looks
I
like
think
that.
Jenny
yeah.
got Owl there.
Alison's having a good time with the with his, what we call drills. Don't know what the referee's disputing here.
I'm
Yes,
not
let.
sure
Oh, so
he
yes,
thinks
let.
who's hit who, but yeah, it's got to be a let. Oh, I think it got Joelle. But
6-7.
I'm not sure who it
The-
got.
across the week, that's happened a lot more. The drilling of the ball into the back of opponents has happened a lot more in the women's than the men's, actually, which has been interesting.
Oh, it's an
Girls
error
haven't
there.
been
Sorry,
holding
Josh.
back.
Big error by Amanda there. Giving it 7-all now. It's going to be really tight. Down the middle again from Joelle's worked quite well. She's caught Jenny out a couple of times with that. Really positive, the Kiwis here, stepping up a bit now. Under the pressure, but they're still living up to it. For that really strong hitting. Oh,
Another let.
Yes, led.
I didn't really see what happened there
7-all.
really, but it's one of those again. Josh, if in doubt, play a let ball.
Yeah, there we go.
Even though at this stage in the World Championships. I think we've seen a lot more, 70% down that backhand wall with Jenny.
Down.
Well,
And
that's
Amanda.
another error there,
Another
Sid.
yeah, sorry to.
Yeah, 8-7.
8-7.
I tell you what, it's
I was
suddenly
11-8
started-
England, wasn't I?
Yeah. Oh, are you still on?
Yeah, of course I'm still on.
Still on for it. I'm well and truly gone with my 11
Yeah, I
too.
think.
I
yeah,
jumped off that fence too quickly.
Yeah, it's up in flames that one, I think, Josh. Attack is such a good. Oh, it was a great shot. Great counter drop there from
And
Joelle.
out.
8-all, so we're locked in now. Final game, 8-all. See how the speed of Joelle there onto that ball quickly. Really strong physically. I think it's going to come down to maybe keep the ball in play here, Josh. Maybe. Do you reckon they're going to go defensive? Do you
Yeah,
reckon they're going to keep attacking?
We saw that a bit
just don't know.
yesterday when it got
Yes, lad.
tight. I've seen some others that then they've
8-all.
gone for it a lot. It's just interesting to
Yeah.
see where the pairings go.
I think you have to, don't you, with the low tin now? You've got to really express yourself on there with your shots. Alison, a great shot player. Jenny, great shot players. And I think you just got to go for it. Obviously, it's easier said than done when we're sat here and there on court, obviously. But
Yes, led.
Yeah, I think
8-all.
they've got enough weapons to go about attacking it. and
100%.
I think it's more about the momentum that they've got going into it, and it can just shift so quickly. I think if you've got a bit of momentum, your shoulders are loose, aren't they? And you can keep going for stuff, and it tends to work. It's when it gets tense.
Down.
Another tin. Another tin by Amanda there.
And
So
out.
3 on the bounce there. I think that's given England 3 points. Am I right there, Josh?
Yeah, I think Joelle just giving her a little bit of
9-8.
I
a
think
talking to there.
we'll see how
just-
this goes now. There's another big
steady it
point in
out.
this match. Got to be a lot of purpose now to all 4 ladies play. A lot of purpose and where they want to put the ball and tactics. It's all coming into its own now, I feel.
Yes,
Glad Jenny
led.
didn't hit that one.
9-8.
Yeah, that could have
Could have
been
ended in tears.
that could have been dangerous. 9-8. Nice and tense for our first final.
Yeah, first time in the commentary booth, Josh, and it's a close one. That's a great little shot by Alison. So that brings up 2 match balls.
So here we go.
I could be on for the 11-8.
You're 11-8.
Coffee's
might be
on you,
it.
Taylor. Coffee's on you.
Match
Ah.
ball.
I thought you'd be on the flapjack, Sidders.
No, well,
yeah,
I do. I have a
celebratory
tendency for
flapjack.
food, as many people will know who's listening, and Josh definitely knows.
Oh yeah. You get through those camps with a few cheeky little Snickers and Mars bars.
Yes, lad.
Always let ball.
Left box. 10-8. Match ball.
Very close here. Very tight. No players want to give anything away here. Great power hits from the Kiwis. You know, still so positive, Josh. Still so positive, even 10-8 match ball down. You know, championship ball. And they're still going at, you know, full pelt here. It's so good to see. You know, very, very confident. Very, very confident. I think we're going to see... Oh, he's going in short. Both New Zealand girls not playing much short now. A little bit more,
got a bit more tense,
a little bit more deep. Some great exchanges here. Jenny defending really well on that backhand side. There's a lot come her way down the middle. Defended really, really well. You know, you would think, Josh, like a little trickle boast might do it here, or a little drop shot.
Yeah,
you never know.
I think
Well, I don't think anybody's going to be going for much. Oh, it's a great shot.
Oh.
Fantastic shot from Landers Murphy there.
So that's 9-8.
That's a fantastic. Look at this open face. You know, such a tough shot to play. Great follow through there. Probably thanks to Paul Hornsby if he's listening in New Zealand. Or, you know, I hope Paul's well. Mr. McQueen's. 9-10, Josh. My bet's gone out the window, but I don't really care at the moment. Oh, he's got it back. It's a huge rally. The pace has gone up again, Josh.
Yeah, this is getting...
Pace has gone absolutely wild.
This is getting tense.
Oh, is an opening maybe? Oh, they've sent it back to Jen. Oh, I'm not sure that's a let. Oh,
yes, lad.
that's what would you say there, Josh? Would you give a let from that?
Yeah, I think that's a let, isn't it? Given the situation, it's always going to be a let, those ones.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one. It's one of those. It's a match ball. It's a big decision to make, and you know, maybe that's the right one there. I feel, you know.
I certainly wouldn't be giving a no let, would you?
I haven't got the
bottle.
The bottle is the word I was going to use, of course. Oh, it's still going on. Can Jenny finish? It's a tough one. Oh, they've done it. New Zealand have got that.
So
that's an unbelievable get.
This is where we go to our sudden death point.
Look at this for a finish, Josh.
This is an unbelievable
Just caught the back. Look at that.
Match ball.
Look, Jenny there. Absolutely fuming.
Here we go. All on this.
All on this point. She's got it back. It's a great get.
It's getting very frantic.
I thought I was going to
There's
roll
the
out
tension. Who's got the bottle to finish it off?
Ooh.
That ball. Here we go.
Oh, you can't give a no let for that one, Josh.
Gonna get another one.
Jenny looking like she wanted. Oh yeah. I would be giving my case as well there, I feel, Josh.
So we said it was going to be tight.
This is as tight as it gets, I feel, Josh.
In the final game here.
Oh, Jenny's just tried to. Oh, good get. Great get from Alison. Sticking in the rally big time, the girls, English girls here. Oh, she's gone forward with it. Joelle's ducked. Cracking rally to finish off. Still no, you know, there's no kind of fear there. Still, you know, full pelt.
I'm feeling pretty nervous though, sat here.
Yeah, I can hardly hold the mic, Josh. I don't think I want to do this again. This is too tense for me. I'm an old man now. Oh, that was very close. Can Alison get that back? It's a good get. Jenny's on it. Backhand drop again. Alison could. Oh, is it?
Oh,
Josh, I nearly jumped out my seat. thought that was it.
I thought we were going to get that then.
Oh, it did pop up a bit there. We
Match
can see on the replay there.
That's one of yours, Sidders. Just leave that arm trailing.
Yeah. Well, you got to do what you got to do.
So third time lucky.
Oh, we don't know, Josh. It's so tense now. The Kiwis have done so well to get this back. You know, it takes a lot of hard work, you know, mentally to get yourself back there. You know, coming from 2 match balls. Is this an opening? It's gone in. What about Alison? Oh, no.
What a time. That is, ouch.
Oh, it's a brutal one because
That's going to be a let, that
it's
as
got
well.
to be a let there.
So
Just a bit up for, you know, all the girls want to play the ball, and you know it's just one of those things. I feel, Josh.
Yeah.
It just happens, and you know there's no malicious stuff going on there. You know,
It just happens a lot in this doubles. You're trying to play the ball and you're being encouraged to
yeah,
get these big
it's just
points.
like part of the game in a sense.
Yes, let.
Oh, another let. So we're on our 5th 10-all,
Fifth
sudden
10-all.
death. This couldn't be any tyre, could it, Sidders?
It's tough.
10 all.
You can't really
Match
call this
ball.
now. You need a little bit of luck, I feel, and you know you never know what could happen here. You know, it's just so positive though. I just still can't believe how positive the girls are being. Like, you know, there's still so much, you know, variety and velocity in the hitting, and it's fantastic.
Oh, don't want to give an angle there.
Oh, Jenny.
Down.
Oh, no. The Kiwis have done it.
Oh,
The Kiwis have done it. It's a great victory for them.
so there we
Fantastic
have
play
it.
from Joelle and Amanda there. It's
So they've defended their title.
defended
so
their
that's,
title now. It's a fantastic game. What a fantastic match that was, Josh.
so
All credit to the Kiwi pairing there. They battled
11-10.
so well there.
yeah.
Game
And the English ladies,
match
you know,
to New
it's, like I
Zealand,
said, it's just a
2
little bit of
games to
luck.
1.
And they worked so hard to get themselves back into that match. And
9-11.
it's obviously a,
11-1.
you know, such a big shame as well.
11-10.
Big shame.
Yeah, so there we go. So that's 2 games to 1 to the Kiwi pairing, taking 11-10 in that third
The
game
tie break.
on the tie break. Thanks for joining us, Sidders.
No, thank you, Josh, for the opportunity. I've enjoyed it. A bit,
Nice
bit
little tense
now.
one for you.
Yeah, a bit tense, but it was yeah, it's a fantastic match. Fantastic match. It's just being an Englishman, it's quite gutting to see that, but all credit to Joelle and Amanda there. Like, they played absolutely fantastic there in that last you know, like, segment of the match. She was so tense, and Amanda hit a few errors, came back, and then hit 2 incredible winners, should we say? And,
Yeah.
and you know, you've got to give them credit. Fantastic match.
So we've got a little break here, a little bit of an interlude. We'll be joined very shortly back for the next final, which is the mixed final, where we'll see the return of Al and Joelle in the mix.
Yeah, they're going to be back.
Alison will be joined alongside Daryl Selby and Joelle King with Superman Paul Cole. So join us back soon. Cheers.
and gentlemen, could I ask you to take your seats, please? The next match is about to start. Could you please take your seats? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our second match is the mixed final I'd like to ask you all to give a warm Manchester welcome to the players. Ladies and gentlemen, representing England, the 5th seeds, please welcome Darryl Selby and Alison Waters. Ladies and gentlemen, their opponents from New Zealand, the top seeds and defending champions, Paul Cole and Joel King.
So hello and welcome back to the WSF World Doubles for our second final. Here with me, Josh Taylor. Into the mixed final now. I'm joined back in the commentary booth by former number 36 in the world, Zach Alexander, Team Australia player. So hopefully not ganging up on the Kiwis here, Zach.
No, it won't be too bad. I'll be trying not to be too biased towards anybody. Unlucky yesterday with the English pairing, but that's all right.
So interesting one this. We had it yesterday with Paul Cole having to play back-to-back, and we've got that with both of the women in this mixed final. We've got Joelle and Al obviously just come off that absolutely cracker of a game. We had 5 lets on the sudden death scenario in the 3rd game, which is just a little bit bonkers.
Yeah, how do we follow that one? Jeez.
So yeah, I mean, I've just got a little bit less tense. Obviously a little bit disappointed, I think, from my English pairing not doing the business.
I think that's going to be the big thing. It's sort of tale of two results, I guess. Joelle's coming back on the court, wanting to be there, bouncing around. You can see hitting it hard. She's riding high after a big win, and now it's going to be tough for Al to sort of. Probably the last thing she feels like doing is getting back on the court after that 11-10 in the 3rd. So it's going to be really interesting. I think they're going to be playing on the same side down that wall. So I think at the start Al might be a little bit flat.
Yeah.
But, if she can get into it, I'm sure she'll be fine. But I guess at least they're both in the same boat. I think would have been tough if someone was fresh and someone was just coming off a match. But interestingly, both the girls have just come off that tough one. So see how we go.
Yeah, obviously yesterday when that happened with Paul Cole, despite his very strong mentally and physically, but he struggled to back up the matches. You know, you can get some long, tough games. Granted, the second match against the Scottish pairing that are in our final later on in the men's doubles did take it to about 80 odd minutes. So I think we can let him off for feeling a bit tired. But interesting to see how these girls do here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be whichever of the boys can impose themselves the most on the match. You know, the girls are sort of both in the same boat, as we said. They're going to get sort of tired, especially if it goes to another long 3 games. So it's about sort of the boys picking and choosing the right time to come across and maybe pick off a couple of volleys or really get across the other side and play a couple of counter drops or something like that, and then just really trying to help their partner out, not letting the girls sort of just have it all down one side. But then also is that fine line between how far over do you stand. You know, you obviously want to try and creep over and cut a few balls off, but that really exposes the other side of the court. Sort of, you got to be careful at the start, especially.
Yeah, I think so. Interestingly, this pairing are the defending champs, Paul Cole and Joelle King. They actually didn't top their group, came second in their group. They lost out to Dougie Kempster and Lisa Atkin, who then lost to Peter Creed and Tesney Evans, which was the semi-final that Darryl and Al won yesterday. So we got a bit of a mix. Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag, but we'll see what this has got to happen.
Yeah, it just shows you the mixed, such a sort of anyone's game, you know. And I feel like it's the same for all 3 draws, really. The quarterfinals are such sort of tight affairs. Anybody in that top 8 really does have a chance to sort of win the event or really go close, you know, which is exactly what we want. And people watching at home especially would have loved that last match. The last thing you want is a bit of a blowout in the final, you know. So 11-10 in the 3rd, perfect result for everyone watching. Maybe not the English crowd, but good for sort of the non-biased spectators.
Yeah, I think that shows how doubles has got a better game to watch, a much better product for the viewers at home. That sudden death scenario definitely created a very tense affair in the last one, which I loved that. I thought it was a great addition.
Do you think that could be something that could eventually come into singles?
Yeah, I think I don't know. Like I like the two clear rule in the singles, but I just think
From
it
a
just
viewing
added a bit
spectacle, yeah.
for a viewing point of view. I mean, it creates a lot of mental pressure, doesn't it? And then that starts to create some nice things for people to watch, so you can deal with the pressure.
Yeah, and obviously there's sort of a lot of talk about time and how long people actually are willing to watch the game, especially on TV compared to live. So that would sort of definitely restrict the length of some of the matches. You know, you see, I know I've played in a couple of 21-19 match games and stuff like that. You know, you sort of feel like you want to get 2 for 1. You know, having that tiebreak definitely brings sort of a lot more excitement. It's a different feeling watching, I know, rather than sort of trying to get too clear.
And I think definitely in the doubles, if it was too clear, we'd have a bit of an issue, I think, because we could have been here all night, I think. So definitely a good addition to this game anyway. Creates a nice little argument potentially for the singles game.
There's obviously sort of people raising now whether we are going to play best of 3 in the singles as well, you know, so it could actually really be the exact same format as the doubles. Yeah. Best of 3, sudden death. Obviously, players are divided a little bit, but you see it a little bit, I guess, in the PSA finals, especially at the start, the best of 3. Suits different types of players, I guess.
Do you have an opinion on it, Zach? Do you think?
I haven't thought too much about it. I mean, I think it would be nice for a change. I don't know sort of if you'd swap it over 100% straight away. It might be something that we may bring in a couple of times a year at a few different levels. You know, I don't think we'd trial it exclusively just with the top 8 players in the world at the end of the year. I think it can be trialed all the way from a $5,000 event all the way up and mixed around. And the interesting thing is going to be is the points, the ranking points that are awarded for something like that. You know, are they exactly the same? Are they 2/3 or whatever? So a lot of talk, but it's good that squash is trying to evolve. You know, I think we can't stay the same and expect a different result in terms of Olympic conclusion and all that sort of stuff. So we've got to evolve to get a different result. You know.
Yeah, I think the thing for me, which would be interesting to see, obviously the tin has gone lower to 17-inch in the singles. It'd be interesting as well. That's something that they've trialled here to a great effect, is taking that tin lower as the physicality's got arguably more. You know, the training methods change maybe.
WSF
arguably
World
some really
Doubles
quick
Championship.
players. Whether or not that makes a difference, maybe going down to 15-inch
mixed final
in the singles might be an
Paul
interesting
Cole,
move as well. But
Joel King, New Zealand to serve. Darryl Selby,
All right,
Alison
predictions for the match before we get
England
going.
to
we did
receive.
this last time, and Sid
Best of
sat
3
on the
games.
fence and then went for a last game. I'm going to go Selby and Walters, only because I'm English. I think if I was going with my brain, I'd probably go Paul Cole and Joel.
All right.
We'll see.
So my heart's going to say England 2-1. That's what I'm going to go for.
2-1,
How about
everyone
you?
will be happy, I think.
How about you?
If you're going for the English, I'll go for the Kiwis. Across the ditch.
So obviously Paul Cole on that backhand side against Darryl. Paul Cole, one of the quick emerging players on the tour at the moment. He's one of the guys everyone's talking about.
Yeah, he's had a great couple of seasons. That's for sure.
Have you played Paul? Have you come across him recently?
I played him at the Aussie Open a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 long games. I lost 3 love, but I think they were all 10s.
Yeah.
Tough to play. So he's going to be tough for Darryl to handle here. And so we spoke about it yesterday, that front position on both sides, really, whether you're hitting or whether you're waiting for the ball. Alison sort of started off slow yesterday, but then got in front. You can see her now in front here, which is a huge thing. And Paul will be trying to get in front of Darryl as much as we can. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing we picked out yesterday. It's a cracking shot there from Al.
Hand out.
The interesting thing we picked out in the mixed yesterday. We're going to get a replay of that. We got a bit of a roll. The interesting thing we picked out in the mixed, watching Paul Cole and Joel yesterday, they played very, very well as a pairing. And the thing with the mixed is that Paul Cole's so quick, he was able to cover whenever he needed to cover so well. Saw him come right across at times and then cover the other end of the court using his speed to attack. And I think that's one of his key strengths, isn't it? It's his physicality and speed and obviously power in what he does.
Yeah. I mean, the girls are going to be hitting probably 75% of the ball in this game, and they know that, and the boys know that. So it's not something that's a surprise, and the spectators, probably the educated ones, are going to sort of understand that as well. So, as we said, it's picking and choosing the times for the boys to come across, and then also for them, with the safety let them. I'm sure Joelle just got hit at the end.
Yeah, she got caught earlier on, so bit of twitchy times.
but it's about the boys when they do get a hit, not trying for too much as well. You know, like you feel like you've been starved of the ball a little bit, so every chance you do get, you want to make the most of it, but then you don't want to go too fine and give away an error, sort of a 2-point swing, I guess, and that happens.
Yeah, we were looking at how the guys can get on top on their side when the ball does come their way, so they can start to really attack quickly across to the girls' side. And we saw that very well from Paul yesterday. Got on top and then was able to whip the ball across with quite a lot of power to the girls' side for Joelle to stay on top.
And it's also for the girls to have a little bit of faith in going cross-court back to the boy, I think, as well sometimes, understanding that sort of they are creeping across a little bit and there's a lot of court for them to hit into, and it may not be a winner, but it's going to force a little bit of a weak return out of the corner from one of the guys, and then their partner can step up on the guy's side and take that next one in. So it's not about going for an outright winner. It's sort of still like singles. You've got to construct a bit of a rally, and then sort of plan 1, 2, 3 shots ahead. So another bad mistake from Al there. She's got to keep moving her feet, keep staying positive. That's too cheap.
Yeah, there we go. You've got 2-point buffer now. So that gives them that momentum, doesn't it, going into this game? Interesting to see how much Paul's on top early on here on Daryl's side. Oh, same scenario again.
Yeah, Daryl trying to get across. He's going to continue to do that.
It's interesting, isn't it, with the mix, because you've got to cover that side so much more when you've got that little bit mix match in ability. Well, not necessarily ability with a racket, but more so with physicality, isn't it? And how they try and cover that. Just trying to find each other out.
Paul staying in front really well here.
Yeah, it's a bit more even on the girls' side, isn't it? But Paul seems to be getting in front of Daryl quite well early on.
Interesting, I was talking to Daryl, I think it might have been yesterday, about sort of statistics and getting a little bit deeper into the doubles, about sort of for and against winners hit versus mistakes made and all that sort of stuff. And I know the English team are really being conscious about figuring out sort of the game and sort of recapping on how they played. And Daryl will be really conscious of obviously trying to hit that winners, but also not making mistakes. So he's talking about +2 or +3 in terms of the differential winners versus mistakes, you know. So he feels if he's in that +2, 3, 4 range for a match, that him or the team is going to have a fair chance of doing well. So sort of that's what for people to look out for as well.
Yeah,
I don't know if any statisticians out there, but for sort of taking notice of winners versus mistakes, you know, that's the big key.
It's interesting, there's, you know, a couple of rooms down from us, you've got the video analysis guys working it out. And yeah, a few of the teams have really tried to approach that, haven't they, and brought some video analysis guys trying to do the stats, trying to feed back to the players in a way that they can manage it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to start being more professional like that if we want to be considered for Olympic inclusion and all that sort of stuff. You can't tell me that the football players and tennis guys and all that don't have all that sort of team working with them, so that's what we need. And as we're seeing, the teams are so close, any sort of edge physically, mentally or whatever that you can get, you need to take it, because that could be the difference.
Daryl's just started to get in front a little bit on that backhand side. Just trying to force his way in front a bit more.
Yeah, he won't let Paul control the whole match. He's stubborn like that, you know.
Daryl's actually proved himself this week as a very good doubles player, I think. I think he's been one of the English players that has approached the game really well. They top their group, these two. I think, you know, he's going to be definitely well in contention going into Commonwealth Games, a strong player for England in the doubles.
Yeah, and I think admittedly, singles-wise, he's probably not at his fittest. Like when he was at his best, he was a physical beast, you know. But obviously, a couple of kids now and a third one on the way, I believe, and a few other extracurricular sort of things taking focus at the moment, especially in the off season. So, but he can still express himself really well on the doubles court. You know, you don't have to be admittedly as fit. But he's got the hands and the imagination as well to sort of think up some of the angles that I guess some of the other players aren't using. And
I think that's something in the singles that we've seen with Daryl as well. Is he's definitely one of the more creative English players that we've had for quite a while, I think, and probably not rated as highly as I think probably arguably should have been. You know, probably that era with some strong players coming through. Maybe been overshadowed a little bit. Oh, there's a little bit of a hit back.
Another little love tap, yeah.
Yes,
Joel Ozer
lad.
one.
Yeah,
Couple
Play
more
ball.
like that.
just trying to get one back from earlier.
They locked at 5-all here in the first game. Pretty much what we thought was going to happen, you know, feeling each other out still a little bit. There's
Oh,
Al.
it's a good finish that, isn't it, Zach?
Made up for that last one. She hit the 10, so 6-5,
6-5.
little edge here to England, which is a good little comeback because New Zealand had the 2-point break there.
Yeah, I think that's good work from the English pair.
You think Al's still thinking about that women's final? I think she's over it a little bit now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting how that plays on your head. I think, you know, in an ideal world, you'd just put it away, wouldn't you? You'd try and go right next thing on a go, and it's got to be gone straight away. But you could also use it to try and... Oh,
Great
that's
shot.
a great finish.
Yeah, I think she'd be trying to use it to her advantage a little
Yeah.
bit. I mean, I would. I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
6-4.
Joelle, you won the last one.
I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to do
this
everything
one.
I possibly can to make sure you don't win both of
Yeah.
them.
So
Otherwise-
yeah, I think it's you can either flip stuff, can't you? It's where obviously psychology plays a huge part in sport, and definitely in the doubles because I think it's so mental at times. Go down the women's side.
I guess sort of on the reverse side, Joelle's got that confidence knowing she has just played the same side with Alison for the last hour, and she had success.
Oh,
So I
here's
know a bit
another
of
one.
friendly fire.
7-6.
I tell you what, Al has been peppered across the week. You see the tape on the back of her leg. That was one from.
Yeah, it's not from a torn hamstring, is it?
No, that is not a hamstring. That is a big bruise.
See, I think Jenny tweeted this morning something that was her strapping work, so the partnership was really working well on and off the court.
Bit of team bonding.
Yeah,
Go.
they're all trying for too much there, not in an attacking spot on the court. Really, like he hasn't moved his feet at all from where he hit it, and that's a long way back to be hitting that
Yeah.
long drop. It's a different length and distance in the air that the ball needs to travel on this wider court compared to singles, you know. So a lot of the time you see that ball actually dropping in the air a little bit further than it normally would on a singles court. So you either have to
That's a
volley
great
again,
finish there.
raise your height a little bit on the
Yeah.
front wall to give yourself a little bit more room, or hit it a little bit firmer. Otherwise, you'll see that ball just clipping the top of the tin a lot.
Firing it back to the guy's side. See who can get on top. Darryl trying to take it back across. There's a bit of change of pace from Al. We saw that a little bit, but obviously doubles tends to be a bit more frantic. Well, that's a
Yes.
wide post.
Superman,
Oh, big scream.
trademark dive,
Yeah.
ball cold.
I think Al was fearing there.
Yes, lad.
Maybe a matching pair was on it.
7-8.
Oh,
And then the relief
Yeah.
when she knows it's still like she can't get hit. Yeah. I don't know if screaming's going to do much.
Yeah,
Though, is it? I'd be trying to move
no,
or duck
yeah.
or dive or something.
I snuck on last night, and young Ben Socket got me well and proper on the backhand side on the old doubles court. Yeah, got the mark to show today.
Great get, Al. There's Dale a little bit. Here comes Paul across. This is what we're talking about. Got to make sure that shot's quality, otherwise you leave the whole side exposed. Good angle from Joel through the middle, sets up the volley. Reset the rally with the height. That's good, Al.
Oh, just fending off around her feet there.
Interesting.
Yes, lad.
Yeah. Yeah, that door was just shut a little bit too much,
Yes,
wasn't it?
lad.
Referee saying there was no
7-8.
access.
Yeah. So obviously I didn't catch you earlier because I was up here, but how did you go on? You were taking on the Welsh earlier, Zach?
Yeah, we were okay. We actually played really well. It was 11-5, 11-5.
Oh, nice.
Not too long either, so
Yeah. Obviously, we're playing playoffs, aren't we, in this?
Correct,
This event has quite a big effect, doesn't it, on the seedings going
Absolutely,
into
yeah.
the
Yep.
commies. So every place is quite important, really, to try and get good group standings and a bit of background results on the pairings. Because often going into it, you know, previous commies, they've really struggled to know where the pairs are going to sit. Really, I guess that's been an issue.
yeah, and I think all the coaches and the managers and all that sit down and have a bit of a seeding panel for a while. It must be quite tough to decide who's better than who, especially if they haven't played each other or even if they've only played once and there's been previous history. So, yeah, and I think they weren't even going to play out the the 5 to 8 spots.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't play 3-4 because I believe they're trying to award more medals these days.
Yeah.
Medals can mean funding to countries and stuff like that. So there is no 3-4 playoff. It's just tied third position. So you're giving essentially 4 sets of medals.
Yeah.
Gold, silver, and 2 bronze. But I think, yeah, definitely playing out 5 to 8 is huge because rather than saying 4 teams got equal 5th,
Yeah.
there can be a really, really wide gap between the 5th team and the 8th team.
Yeah.
You know, so
I think that's fair, isn't it? Definitely helps that panel. I know I was chatting to David Campion, English national coach. He was chatting through the fact how they've got this seeding panel that tries to work it out and they try and go off as much results, but he said it's really tough trying to pick it out because you just haven't got a lot to go on in the doubles game, and until there's a few more of these kind of tournaments, or maybe just 1 or 2 more, you just don't have enough results to get a true accurate representation of it. But
as we said, I think especially in the guys and any of these we've seen with the mixed, anybody in the top 8 teams,
Yes,
really,
lad.
it's a flip of a coin most of the
Yeah.
time. And the
7-8,
Commonwealth Games is going to be
silver
quite
Commonwealth.
interesting. Obviously, these matches will be played on an all glass court,
Yeah.
which will definitely suit or not suit a lot of the players. You know, so
definitely has a different dimension to it, doesn't it? Obviously glass front wall here, but it definitely is more probably lively in the front corners than a
yeah, it's still it
traditional
rewards
glass court.
the angles and shots and can sort of attacking
Whoa.
shots like that.
That is beautiful.
You'll see, I think, a lot.
Hand out.
Few shorter
9-7.
rallies, I guess, not too much, but
Yeah.
the ability to hit more dead winners. I think a lot of semi-winners are hit on this court, but
Yeah.
the ball just comes back because it is bouncy and flying around. So, especially after the first game on that glass court, as a lot of people know, even from the PSA, the ball deadens right up, and it really rewards sort of a bit more shot-making teams, I think, rather than sort of just rallying teams.
Yeah, I think that's where it just adds a little bit more, and particularly to this doubles. I think the more attacking it gets,
Great
the
shot,
better.
Al.
That's a nice angle. That.
Great angle.
Just
She's
using the
doing
court.
really well playing it off her toes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how long that can continue for. I think she
Yeah.
may give a few more mistakes, just a little bit lucky.
bit-
Not
it's a bit-
lucky, it's a
yeah.
great shot, but when it gets really, really tight, if you're not moving your feet too much, you're going to be in trouble.
I think Al's done a lot better on this forehand
Well,
side
there.
against Joelle in this
And
mixed
out.
final in comparison to the
10-8,
last women's
game
final.
ball.
Maybe there's been a bit of feedback and trying to get her on top, or maybe the physicality's got into it. You know, this is obviously the 4th game back-to-back they've had to play of doubles.
Another good angle. Chance here for New Zealand. Game ball.
Yeah.
Spoke yesterday how important that first game is. You can see Paul's right up there.
Trying to open up the spaces.
Great angle, Joel.
Oh, nice little boast there. Brought both pairs in. Didn't quite follow up on it quick enough though there, Al. That's a cheap error out there. You should have done a bit more effort to get around it.
Game for New Zealand.
So that's
First
the first
game.
game. First game to New
New
Zealand.
Zealand lead 1 game to love.
Right
11-8.
angle from Darryl, just caught it
Yeah.
a little bit late. It's a good shot from Paul, actually going back at the body. Sort of the last thing you think that's going to happen once it's come down the middle to you, sending it back down, but that was quite smart.
So that's that first game, and you know, early doors. I thought Paul Cole and Joel King probably were the stronger pairing out of the two, but been a bit up and down in the group stages on their way through. So interested to see what happens here. You know, going on to that second game, very important for the English pairing, I think, to start well and get in front. I think Al's done better on that forehand side than she was in the women's final against Joelle. I think Darryl probably just needs to try and get a bit more strength in front of Paul Cole, but we'll be interested to see what he does here. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the time he's playing the inside angle on his side, which Paul's still able to pick up. I think every time now that Darryl gets a chance, he needs to go back at Joelle nearly as hard as he can on her backhand side, especially rather than her forehand side, and really try and sort of tangle her up a little bit and get her playing a weaker ball, and then follow the next one in. You know, rather than sort of relying on Al to try and play a lot of those angles if she's not moving her feet and stuff like that. Darryl really needs to impose himself, hit a bit of pace inside her sort of left pocket there and make her try and pop one up on her backhand, and then follow it in with the next one.
it's just trying to open up those partnerships, isn't it? We were talking about that in the last match, and Jenny does that so well on the backhand, but we've seen that a little bit across there from different players and trying to open up different partnerships. And sometimes that's across the court, using your partner and using the space to open up down the middle of the court in this doubles game. and trying to open up combinations to get some space, which is so hard to find with 2 players on the court. So here's the English pairing back on first. Letting the volunteers off.
I like to see them. I like to see them getting back on first. It shows a bit of a positive attitude, and that's not sort of just walking on last minute. You know, always playing myself, like to get back on first before my opponent, regardless of whether I won the game or not. Sort of shows your opponents that you're ready, you're raring to go, you're sort of energized, and you're not sort of depressed that you just lost the last game or anything like that. So we need a really good start here from the English for your prediction to come true, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're going to need it, I think. Looking at these Kiwis, they've come on. Look, positive body language, as to be expected from that 1-love lead.
New Zealand lead, 1 game to love. Love
So
all.
here we go, second game. Oh, that's a strong line there from Alan. There's a
That's what she's got to do. You know, whether it's hitting the ball harder or getting her going somehow, she's got to sort of be a little bit more positive, hitting through the ball a little bit more, keep moving her feet, staying in front of Joelle, exactly where she is now. And as I said, want to see Daryl sort of impose himself maybe on that side a little bit.
That's the double duck.
One
Both players trying to get out of the way.
Wow,
Yeah.
2 in a row. That's what they got to do. I mean, it's that corner.
Yeah,
That's
that's where the
yeah.
the winners have come, hasn't it? Ala's got herself a little bit more.
And you see Joelle's conscious of that now. She's really trying to push up in front, and she has to do that whether she's uncomfortable or not in terms of being so close to the front wall. It's better to be uncomfortable and in front than be comfortable and be behind. You've always got that back wall to run around and get you out of jail. You don't have that option at the front. The ball's just going to be gone.
Yeah. There's that quick line that Dow's got to run to cover across on that serve. That wide doubles court. Oh, there's it again, the double duck. Some interesting angles being created there.
It's an interesting tactic from Dowell. I mean, obviously he wants to play the ball and not call that many lets, but you pop the ball up like that against maybe someone that's more attacking than Paul, and that ball's gone as far as I'm concerned. You've got a Cameron Pilley or even Ryan or those sort of severe hitting guys like that. That ball's rolling out of the nick. You're way safer playing like, friendly fire again.
Yeah.
1-2.
Allison thinking the ball's going to go wide to the side wall. Smart going down the middle, but too smart for his own opponent, partner there.
King.
Well picked off that. See Paul pushing across, trying to cover on his forehand as much as possible. Just helping out Joelle on that forehand side. Drawing both English players in there. Got to cover back off. Got it. Recovered. It's a good line hit by Paul there, hitting deep into those corners.
2-all.
Yeah, it's just rolled that, innit? That's it. Oh, it's popped a little bit. More than I thought,
it was
actually.
a let, definitely, yeah.
Yeah? Yeah,
Darryl just making sure everyone's okay.
Yeah.
1-2.
1-2, so we got the let. Yeah, my first view, I thought that would roll, but it definitely popped on that second camera angle.
Oh, she's got to go back at Joelle there. Let her off the hook big time. Even if it's a tough swing, she's got to go back. Joelle's under pressure, and then look, bit of a role reversal here. That looks fairly similar to me in that same scenario.
That's an interesting one, I think.
Consistent, but we'll hear what they got to say.
It's quite hard to hit a ball when you're balancing on one foot, I think, but... Interesting call, but... part of the game as well.
I think Darryl was sort of a little bit off balance is why he's asking for a let. I don't think there was enough room to the ball is the right explanation.
2-all.
I'd sort of rather hear them say ball was too good or back on the court kind of thing. Sometimes you give the wrong explanation, you create more confusion.
Yeah, you just open the door to conversation, don't you, if you get that explanation wrong.
Down from Al.
It's bit of momentum from this Kiwi pair. 3 points on the bounce, taking them back to 3-2 in this second game.
It's changed again in the blink of an eye, hasn't it? Like 2 minutes.
That momentum is so important in this doubles game.
Chance for Paul here. Put it away. Great width. Great width. Safer option than taking it short, but if it's wide enough, Al's sort of not reacting. Look, to see in this really late here, Al's not having her racket up at all. See the first move in her racket's back rather than out, forward and across.
It's good camera angle that. Just picks out how you've got to be so alert of the ball potentially coming back across to you. I mean, even there it looked quite obvious to me that it's going to go to that kind of space, but Al's just been caught off a little bit.
The thing is, if you're not hitting the ball, you've got to expect it to come to you. Oh, late again with preparation there a little bit with the racket.
Yeah,
that's
now 5-2, showing that momentum. You've got a 3-point gap in this second game. It's so important that
Daryl trying to sort of settle her down, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, just need to just stay calm, keep the ball in play. Just try and get those partnerships opening up again on that forehand side for Al.
Yeah, we've seen so much this week. It's not so much about winning the match in doubles, it's about not really losing it, you know? And Alison hit 2 crackers at the start of this game to go 2 love, but you sort of give them straight back when she's made a couple of errors now.
It's interesting those stats you were talking about, Daryl saying at the start. He's got to maybe think about those a little bit and trying to get that percentage of winners and errors. Good line. Yeah. Al's picked that off well.
Yeah,
that's well done from Alison.
But again, as you've seen, it's hit or miss there, isn't it? With that sort of open stance facing the front wall and great sort of
a push drop really there, wasn't it? But it drew both players in, so I think there's space off that if they had got it back as well. So.
And that's the thing. All she really wants to do is draw the players in together. She doesn't really need to hit an outright winner because then they need to follow it up and go back at the people at the front. That's a great angle from Dale. That's what he's trying to do, I think, at the end of that last game. That's the angle.
That's that clever use of angles in the doubles. You see that a lot, don't you? They're trying to use a bit more creativity. Just players expressing themselves with some interesting angles that they might not normally play.
A few of the lower grader players watching this might like to see a few of those reverse bursts going in. I think they can relate to that. Another one.
Yes, lad.
Yeah, I think that's fair. What do you reckon, Zach?
It was tough. I mean, I don't really know who was going for it. Obviously, Daryl Allison came across as well and created a little bit of confusion between the two, I think, as well. And you see Daryl trying to go on the inside there, nearly near the wall, instead of actually going around to the right-hand side of Paul and trying to get it.
Certainly effort, but it's whether or not it's in the right way.
That's right, yeah, maybe sort of just trying to find the back of Paul rather than actually really trying to go to the ball.
4-5.
Some weight on that cross court there. That was good, yeah.
Daryl sort of getting into the game a little bit more now.
I see Paul there, obviously wiping his face. Obviously wearing goggles in doubles. How have you found that, Zach?
Yeah, I mean, I myself have to have a bandana or a headband on. Paul just has that little soccer player's headband, I guess, which is not exactly keeping the sweat off him, but
definitely helping with the looks, though.
Absolutely. Sometimes that comes first, I think.
Yeah.
6-5.
I mean, leading up to this, have you practiced any goggles or anything like that, or is it just suck it?
Kind of lucky, I guess. Some of the coaching that I'm doing in America, we sort of I wear while we're coaching, so I guess probably had more chance to use it on a daily basis than most people. A few of the other countries obviously choosing. Joel has the IMAX on, which is a little bit of a different product, obviously. Coming out of Australia, a lot of the other countries choosing that option as well. I know the Aussie boys tonight will be around it, and the Scots, the Welsh team, a few others sort of choosing that option. Definitely helps the eye mask without.
Do you prefer that? Have you tried it? Or?
Yeah, I have tried it. Yeah, we actually had some come across, but they were a little bit late, so we decided not to try and really try them on for the first time.
Yeah.
Midway through. Or third day, but definitely a good option. Less fogging up because they're obviously further away from the face. and actually have a sweatband on.
So it kinda
the sort of
helps with
thing.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, great
Oh.
choice from Daryl to play through the
Oh, there
interference.
we-
It's very smart.
Stop for a let though.
I don't think this will be a let.
Yeah, I mean he's played it, hasn't he? He's played
Bander's
through
double
that.
bounce.
Oh, it's down. Yeah, I think that's fair from the ref, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very cheeky from Daryl. You know,
Yeah.
Paul probably half expecting him to stop.
7-all.
Yeah, no,
but
he's
Daryl
just stuck
choosing
that hip
to.
out a little bit.
Yeah, he chose to sort of ride the bump, I guess, and play through the interference and caught Paul by surprise a little bit by playing that ball. I'm sure Paul will put that one in the memory bank for a few points later, trust me.
Yeah. There'll be a strong stance coming back out.
Down.
Great spot.
Yeah, that's it. Using that down the middle lines.
As he got onto that
No.
ball early and he hit it firm,
8-7.
and that's that good length right down at the toes. Even if they get it back, it's going to be a defensive push up.
It's getting those players to hit up on the ball, isn't it? Sometimes you can create those angles where you get that ball low and flying away.
And out. 8-all.
Get someone to hit up on it, and then you create an angle off it to attack or a space.
Big point.
Well, that's wide.
Good length out. Chance.
That's why he's so strong, isn't he? So fast, Paul Cole covering off that ball.
Chance here, just take it in. Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
A funny bounce from
Yeah,
that
yeah.
wide boast somehow got all the way across.
So here we go, English pairing back and 9-8 in this second game.
Quarter strike.
So important that if you can get a 10-8 here, you'd back them to finish that off, and then
We've seen
we've
the
got
Kiwis get a run of
really-
3 points very easily a few times already, though, haven't we? Even at the end of that last
Yes,
match,
lad.
where the
Yeah.
English 10-8 up, and then
And then they nipped it back. Match length starting to ramp up as well.
great shot, Al.
So these girls have been on
Change
court
up.
for nearly an hour and a half now. With their 2 matches back to back.
10-8. Game ball.
Here we go then. Game ball.
Yes, lad. 10-8.
I feel they probably could have tried to make him play that a little bit more. But definitely had some space. Drew both players in.
I don't know if Daryl really needed to go for that.
No, that was a bit unnecessary, I think. So you got to trust your partner sometimes, isn't it? Even in this mix, just having a bit of faith in the girls on that side to cover it and do good work. See now, finish off quite a few nice points. So I think Daryl probably have left that. But
Trouble.
Down.
Oh, Daryl again, same shot.
yeah,
And out.
save one game ball there for the Kiwis.
Game ball.
9-10.
Off the frame there,
Yeah.
caught it a little bit late.
With this lower tin, you know, it does encourage you to have a go at times, though,
Absolutely,
doesn't
yeah.
it? Particularly with a bit of a lead. Nice line from Al, getting on top. Oh,
Just in. Chance for Daryl. Inside out,
oh,
loves that shot.
yes,
loves
there
it.
we go. Brought that second game back for the English pair, so we've got another
That's
another
the spot
1-0.
again, isn't it?
Yeah.
If they're going to have any success in this third game, they've got to
11-9
really
England,
keep the
one game
ball
all.
into that corner.
So there we have it. That's the second game, so we're up to 1-1. So yeah, again we see Alan Joel taking it right to that last game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in this third and final game. I think there's a potential, isn't there, Zach, of a bit of fatigue maybe coming in the girls. They've been on court now for nearly an hour and a half, which is a long time, even in in singles terms. That'd be a very tough 5-setter that they've been through.
Yeah, and it's not even.
Um,
It sort of gets once it gets close in this game again. It's past the physical sort of tiredness. It's that emotional stress as well. Like they just had as close as much as you could possibly have.
Yeah, it's whether those memories come back a little bit or whether they've using that for motivation. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. If it goes tight again, it'll be interesting to see how they deal with it, the two girls that have had to play these back-to-back matches. It's not just them as well. Like Daryl was in the men's earlier on. I saw him playing with Tom Richards earlier on, so he's had another match today as well. So I don't know, did Paul play in the men's? No, he didn't because of the semi-final loss because of the 3-4 playoff. So Paul Cole's the one that's fresh.
Yep.
So yeah, interesting to see if he takes a bit of dominance in this and uses that freshness to maybe try and put it past these
Yeah, and I think
English pair.
he's had a few opportunities where he's had the whole court or a chance to actually really finish the rally off. And he sort of looks like he's hitting the right shot, but he's trying to be a little bit careful with the way he's doing it. I mean, those chances like that, as you said, with this low tin and the angles that you can hit, the ball just needs to be gone. The rally needs to be over.
Yeah.
It's so hard to create those opportunities, and every time he gets one of those easy ones in the middle of the court, the ball just has to be sort of rally over.
Yeah,
So-
it's where you just take the simple shot option, isn't it, and just finish it off quickly when you've created that space.
Yep.
So be nice to see if he brings that in. It'd be interesting to see what they do here. I think we'll probably see Paul Cole try and push up and show some dominance on the men's side, on the backhand side. Interesting to see what the girls do and how fresh. See how
Trying to keep moving. and,
keep trying to keep it nice and bit of flexibility.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of her footwork, I think, and
One
if
game
she
all.
can
Yeah.
sort of
England
talking
to
about that
serve.
differential again,
Love
it's
all.
the girls on that side, whoever can sort of either make less mistakes or hit more winners, I think they're going to be the team that comes out on top here.
So here we go, we're off. This third and final game. Obviously just best of 3 in this doubles.
Been a good finals day so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've had a good one. I was looking forward to today, and it's not disappointed so far. You guys got a bit of a closing function as well later on.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've got to, for people watching, I think hopefully they stream the medal presentations. That'll be straight on the courts after the men's final coming up next. So get a chance to see all the players that finished well this week.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see that men's final as well coming up after this.
Contrasting styles there, I think, a little bit
Yeah,
as well. So
I think we're going to see. It's going to be an interesting one because we've got the Aussies with you obviously got your compatriots Ryan and Cameron Pilley up against the Scottish pairing. There's a few Scots that have travelled down. Let's give a bit of support. Scots did well last year in this.
yeah, they love their doubles.
Defending champions, the Scots.
Yep.
So yeah, they ground it out yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah, that's how they liked it. Great angle from Joey back at Al when she's in trouble. That's what you've got to do. Keep the pressure on one player. Starve the other player of the ball, and they feel like they need to do too much. And that's the spot again. A little bit, as you're saying, on that left-hand side in your pocket, you know, you see Al trying to do some sort of creative racket work there on the forehand side, inside out, rather than
turning with the
and
wrist
getting on the
that
backhand side. Yeah, exactly. So
Two love lead.
that's the spot. And that's the spot that Daryl's got to come onto Joel as well in that same side, you know.
Yeah, it's hitting that gap, isn't it, where the players are less comfortable and less used to dealing with, and trying to see if that opens up your spaces with someone hitting up on the ball. We've seen that quite a lot across the week. Oh, that's an error. That's what I was saying. Maybe winners and errors might start to really pay in this third game. See if Hal can get back on top of Joel in this 2-1.
That's better. That's what I was saying. See, that's what has to happen every
Yeah.
time. You know, like weak serve, Joel, great length, and Paul just has to finish those rallies exactly like he did there. Got to have the confidence and the trust to actually just commit to that rather than just hoping it's going to go somewhere.
And he certainly did there. Just didn't hold back onto it fast like we were talking about in that game break. Is that trying to hit that space down the middle again? Nice lift. Towel having to cover quite a bit there, do a bit of work. Just trying to find each other out a bit, aren't they? Trying to create some space. Now it's gone into that
We
front
get out.
corner.
Struggling though a little bit.
Oh. So we see if those legs have got some stamina in them.
Some interesting swings coming from that side of the court, that's for sure.
Definitely a few signs of a bit of fatigue creeping in
I
on
think
the
so, yeah.
on the forehand side.
That mental strength now to hang in. One more shot. It's good from Joel.
Yeah, see
Little
that
hold,
space. Nice.
push.
See Al trying to cover
4-1.
that. Starting to
4-1
see a
King
few signs in Al's
Yeah.
legs, I think.
And Joel looks completely opposite. She's
Yeah.
a little bit first little fist pump of the match, and the Kiwis came together. I'm sure they'll be saying, "Come on, keep going." Next point, 5-1's a big, sort of big deficit now. Big difference from 4-2, that's for sure.
Guess this is where Al's got to be confident to let Daryl have a bit of a.
Well,
bit of a
Daryl has
turn
to.
on it. He's
He
got to
has
step
take
up,
it.
hasn't he, a bit more
Yeah.
and try and cover for Al, which he's doing here.
They're really working Al over nicely here. Struggling to get up. Oh, Paul's going to go back
Oh,
in.
we got a dive. That's good coverage from Daryl.
Ball had to go back into Al though, rather than...
Yeah.
Oh, communication. Finish the rally here. Last
That's
chance.
good work
Take it.
from the
Just
English
drop,
pair.
just drop.
Oh,
Hanging in. Great rally. Best rally of the match.
definitely. Paul doing the work now.
Yep.
He's done well there. I think that's the best rally we've had so far.
Joel had the
5-1.
best seat in the house.
Yeah. We've got Paul Cole doing a lot of work and Daryl pulling out the dive mid-rally, and both players having to try and keep in. 5-1 lead now for the Kiwis. That's where that momentum, if they can get this to run away, they can really...
Oh, that hurts.
6-1.
6-1.
Look at the difference in the teams. The Kiwis coming together, charging to the box. English sort of a bit separated.
So
See the writing on the wall here a little bit,
yeah.
unfortunately, yeah.
Trying the wipe of the glasses and a bit of a regroup. Been watching some of the juniors that I coach, I think they pull out that one a lot. Get those goggles off and sorry sir, they're a bit foggy.
Yep.
Oh,
Stroke to England.
Had to be a
Hand
stroke.
out.
yeah.
2-6.
Player hitting the ball back to themselves down their same side.
Selby.
See what the English can do here. And a little comeback. Like to see another 10-all. Don't know if the English and the New Zealand coaches would like to see another 10-all. They're gonna
Yeah,
they're
definitely.
gonna need a beer at the end of this week, that's for sure. They'll probably be happy they don't have any teams in the men's final.
Yeah, I think both of them give them a bit of a rest. Probably good for the
Hand
heart.
out. 7-2.
Front position, Joel, volley. Bala trying to defend, too tight.
7-1 lead. It's a huge lead, isn't it? But you just don't know in doubles.
That's from
Sometimes
Paul,
you
that's
can
what you
just
got to do.
yeah,
Get it.
he's covered. Oh, so strong.
That's good from Dal, he's got to do that.
Yes, lad. 7-2. Call from the left.
So we've got 7-2, Paul serving from the left. It's do or die now here for England, I think. This next point, next 2 points, really, they have to win. They've got to get back even to 5-7 to be a chance.
Yeah, this is where you hope for a momentum shift if you're an English fan like me.
There it is. Kill from Al.
Hand out. 3-7.
So that's 3-7. Scoreboard caught us up. Catching us behind. Al's got to get in front on that side. Get in a good position to take the ball in. Just fighting a little bit, just trying to get that vision round.
Paul keeping himself really busy, doing great work, covering.
Al taking it in.
It's good
That's
from
it.
Darryl, back at Joel.
Got to keep that pressure back on Joel, haven't they? Nice long rally here. Oh.
Hand out. 8-3. 8-3.
8-3, so a 5-point deficit for the English pair in this third and final game. Strength of this New Zealand pairing starting to show.
Let's see Joel keep the serve in, hopefully. Yep. Served out 4
Yeah,
times this week, I think. There's been a lot of talk amongst their team, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was an interesting one, wasn't there, on game ball earlier on in the week?
Match ball.
Match ball.
Served it out against the Scots, the match they lost.
Yes, lad. 8-3.
Darryl just trying to show he's trying to get round him. A little bit of a push.
Tucking in the scrum there.
Yeah.
Hands up, sorry mate.
Yeah.
Yes, lad.
Like a tired little look for Joelle and run into her because she wasn't getting that, I think. I think that's tired legs from Al, I think. Just going to have to push on. Just keep those legs working, keep in front. Work from Darryl, just covering down that middle part on his forehand side.
Oh. See, I think that's a stroke like the other one.
Yeah, she's caught that. I mean,
Like, there's no way.
definitely ready. Rack it up.
I don't mind the calls either way, whether that's a
Yeah.
stroke or a let, but what I'd like to see is a bit of consistency, you know, and the players just want to know
Yes,
what to
lad.
expect.
8-3.
Yeah,
think,
and they've given that once, haven't they, in this game?
Yep.
So
So as I said, like if you give a let the first time, give a let the second time, people know what to expect, but try not to change too much. Keep the pressure on there. That's good.
that's good.
Pressure on, leave it in there. Good.
Oh,
Darryl,
shovel out the
across the
front.
court.
Go
Yep.
ball, yeah. Open up that space, drawing both players across, and then open up some space across.
Oh,
Good coverage. Oh,
strong from Darryl. It's good.
oh no! It's another error. That's where it gets frantic, doesn't it? And actually, Al's probably got a chance of leaving that and then coming
9.
back
Absolutely,
round and
yeah.
taking it off the back wall because that's going
Really,
full.
really tough ball to get a racket
Yeah.
to and control it.
That's where just not making a mistake and hanging in becomes so important. Actually, just a bit of survival, you know, rather than taking on the ball tough there. Just give yourself a bit of time.
Down.
Right shot to play from Paul
And
there.
out.
And they've earned that, you know, earned the
4-9.
9-3 lead.
Selby.
Yeah, they've definitely got themselves
for it now.
a bit of dominance,
Yep.
and it's a fair lead.
You don't want to go into your shell now. That's the last thing you want to do. We see a lot of these sort of score changes and reverses. Teams sort of thinking
That's
they've
good
won it,
hitting her
or
spaces there
great
from the
drive,
English
Darryl.
player. That's got to be a no, that surely. Yeah, I think that's fair.
That was good
I mean,
length.
they've
I don't
drawn
know
him
if it
in.
was a winning shot, but there was enough contact to
5-9.
stop.
Yeah, I think
gotta
that's
get that
that's fair.
as a
Like
player, yeah.
the English pair have taken it in, haven't they?
Yep.
They've drawn Paul all the way across, and they've got to cover this big doubles court back. So
He has to go get it.
he's got to make it just a bit more effort, I think, to
Here
get
we go.
round, Darryl.
Hang on. 6-9.
So, yeah, this is where that momentum.
6-9.
Talk about momentum, and it can just shift. 3-point deficit now.
This now becomes a huge point. Al might have perked up a little bit. Scoreboard helping.
She's definitely just keeping in front. Just trying to get in front.
Oh.
Oh, that's a good finish, though.
Hand
A
out.
little inside out
Oh,
forehand
yeah.
kill.
10-6.
Chance was there through the gap.
Championship ball.
Players watching.
Slip
Al
it in.
on the heels a little bit again. Yeah, you see the
Yeah.
movement backwards first. Match ball. Chance. There it is.
There we go. So the Kiwis take it 11-6, taking on the first attempt on that match ball.
Yeah,
So
and a big hug.
yeah, another great game there though. 2-1 to the Kiwis going to the final game. Lots of interesting plays. I think, you know, again it shows how strong some of these Kiwis pairings have been
11-6.
this week.
Match to England. Sorry, back to
Definitely
New
as well in
Zealand,
this
2 games
mix
to 1.
with the back-to-back for the
11-8,
girls. I think that just showed the strength of the guys
11-6.
pulling through and Paul getting in front of Daryl, but also how strong Joelle is on that forehand side.
Yeah.
Another great game. What do you think? Just a bit of a sum up, Zach?
Yeah, no, it was really good. I think it sort of shows the girls had it tough, but whoever sort of made the less errors and stayed strong the longest on that side was really who was sort of going to come out the winner in the end. Joelle was really bouncing around. I guess maybe the effects of winning the previous match might have helped.
Yeah.
You know, and she, I think, is naturally a harder hitter, which sort of always put Al under a bit of pressure. And then she did hit a lot of great shots, a lot of winners, but also gave a lot back as well. And Daryl sort of trying to insert himself a little bit, but maybe not as well as Paul managed to, especially at the end there, hitting a few winners and covering and moving around the court.
So there we have it. That's second win for the Kiwis. So we've got a short little break here, and then we'll be joined back for the men's final. Got Alan Klein and Greg Laban against Ryan Kaskili and Campilli. Thanks for joining us again, Zach.
Cheers,
I'll let
mate.
you get down and support your compatriots.
Go Aussies.
Go Aussies. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you take your seats, please. Players about to start. Could you please take your seats? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, play will commence in 1 minute. Play will commence in 1 minute. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our final match of the championship is the men's doubles final. Once again, I'd like to ask you to give a massive Manchester welcome to the players. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Australia, second seeds Ryan Cuscully and Cameron Pilley. Ladies and gentlemen, their opponents from Scotland, top seeds and defending champions, Alan Klein and Greg Lubben.
So welcome back and to our third and final at the WSF World Doubles here in Manchester with me, Josh Taylor. I'm joined in the commentary booth now. I've switched up the Aussie accent for a Scottish one, and I'm joined by Dougie Kempsall. Thanks for joining us, Dougie.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, hopefully a good accent that we can all understand.
Yeah, probably a bit of a tougher one, I think, than the Aussie one, but maybe the Scottish audience will appreciate it for this. Probably a non-biased view in this final.
Absolutely.
So let's look to these Scots as they're knocking up. So obviously Alan Klein and Greg here, they had a tough one in the last one. They had a few leads and let them back in the semis, but they've come through, not lost a match so far. Looking like a good pairing and defending champions in this category.
Yeah, I mean, well, you look at their record is pretty strong. I think
Campbell Grayson kept them
I mean,
on
they
court for the longest
they
match
won lost
of the
in the last
tournament
sort of
so
2 years,
far,
I think.
winning 2-1 in 82
and
minutes.
I think they've got a reputation for being
Ladies and
very,
gentlemen,
very steady,
Alan
very
Klein
organised,
and Greg Lubben.
just a very good attritional team with retrieving skills, rivaling most teams, and the likes of the hands that Greg Lubben has, especially, can finish rallies off from anywhere. Yeah, so I think they're a very hard team to break down.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be interesting now. I think they've shown some real strength coming through. Obviously, we were saying it's a bit of a leveler sometimes, doubles, and I think this is probably quite a good example with these two guys probably not as highly ranked as some of the other players in the men's doubles, but when they come together have really got their head around doubles. And do you guys do a lot of practice up in Scotland for the doubles? Do you see it as a big point you can pick up medals at the commies and things like that? Is it something that you've talked through as a team?
I think absolutely. I mean, obviously our funding bases on achieving these goals, achieving medals at Commonwealth Games, and I think these boys are definitely one of the sort of the favourites to get to that goal. So we have. I mean, we've been doing quite a few weeks of training, obviously leading up to this. And these boys know how important this is to not just themselves, but to the future of Scottish squash, really. So so a lot. So you could say a lot rides on their shoulders, but yeah, these guys know what they're doing. They've been together for quite a few years now, and they've just been getting better and better, and they've developed well. And yeah, I think they're feeling pretty confident. So
yeah, I think obviously you've had a bit of change recently as well in your coaching team, haven't you, over in Scotland? So you've got Paul Bell and then Martin Heath, I guess.
Heath, yeah.
So how's that working for you guys? Has it been something that you've been quite happy with? Has it settled in quite quickly, or has it been quite a big change?
No, I mean, it has been a big change. I think big change in the sense that we've had sort of 5 or 6 years with sort of the same sort of format with Roger and co. So yeah, it's been time. We're still going through that transition period, but you know, everyone is very well. We're all adapting really well and enjoying it, and I think it's obviously what we're looking to take us forward. So
yeah, I guess you benefit from quite a centralised system, don't you? You guys get to train together a lot up in Scotland. You're all based near each other, which must have a big advantage when coming together as a team. So looking to this Australian pairing, we watched these yesterday. I watched these yesterday playing against the English pairing of Deck and James.
Having topped their group, the Australians
they did very, very well. Very strong pairing. You've got a lefty-righty combo. You've got the hardest hitter in the world in Campilli on that forehand. Chalking up 177 miles an hour on that forehand at times. So yeah, it's a hard hitter. So you've got, I think you've got quite a lot to contend with here. I think you've got probably maybe a little bit difference, because I think you got a bit of power and velocity hitting, and Cuss definitely isn't afraid of putting that ball away. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think we're going to have two different styles a little bit. I think we're probably going to see maybe the Aussies go for a little bit more. Would you say that's fair, or?
I would agree with that. I think you look at the Aussies, and because they're both on the forehand sides, I think that is very strong for them. Having especially Caskelli on his backhand side, his forehand side on the backhand wall against Clenny on his backhand side, they're going to see that as an advantage. But then you look at the opposite of that, going down the middle, two backhands. So I think there'll be
Yeah, we've certainly got some experience here as well. Obviously, the Scots are defending champions here in the men's doubles, and then you've got 2 gold medals on Cameron Pilley's back, and he's been around for a long time, played a lot of doubles.
Yeah, experienced campaigner, knows what he's doing.
So it's interesting, and I think it's probably been a bit of a breakthrough really for Caskelli. We've seen him feature a lot more in the singles. He's had some great results this season and started to really compete at the highest level. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. The Aussie pairing are ranked at 14, Ryan Caskelli, and 18, Campilli, so both inside the top 20 in comparison to Alan Klein at 26 and Greg at 46. So, but it doesn't always show, having the 2 higher ranked players doesn't always mean a win in doubles. It's how they work together. So, be interesting to see how they pair off and how this goes. You were saying that they played last year in the doubles and came up against each other. Is that right?
Yeah, no, they came up against, so they played each other in the semi-final, where the Scots came out on top. I think they came out 2-0. As far as I can remember, it was a pretty entertaining game. Very close, obviously.
Time.
But a year's gone by, and I think both teams will have developed.
The referee for this match is
look
Roger
back at that game and
the marker is Dean
seen
Clayton.
what they can, seen the gaps and what they can find to make that extra step. It's going to be interesting to how it's developed.
So the Scots just getting that last little knock up.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to go down to the wire, though.
Let's go on then. Predictions.
It's a tough one.
We've had a bit of hopping off the fence in this commentary booth so far. We've had some predictions.
Now, bearing in mind, I'm not too biased. And I haven't actually really seen Pilley and Caskelli playing this week. I've really just watched the Scots play this week, and they have been extremely strong. Very hard to break down, obviously. So I think I can only see. I mean, I can see it going to a third game. And obviously, I'm going to back the Scots.
Yeah.
Obviously, but
So I tell you what, to make it interesting, I'll go for a 2-1 to the Aussies. That's an Englishman going for an Australian win there, so that makes it a bit more interesting for us. So if you go 2-1 Scotland, is that where you're going? You're going to hop off?
I'm going to go 2-1 Scotland.
Okay, I'll go 2-1 Australia.
I just think the Australians, because they've got so much firepower with 2 forehands, Campilli is just, you set anything up, he will slam that into the neck. I think they'll get a few winners when it matters, and they'll get some reward, and I think they can. Yeah.
WSF World Doubles Championships, Manchester 2017.
We'll
So,
Men's
here we
final.
go, our last final. Here in
Brian
Manchester.
Caskelly and Cameron Pilly of Australia to serve. Alan
Last game
Klein
of the
of
tournament. It's been a great
Robin
event,
of
actually.
Scotland to receive.
How have you
Best of
found the
3
event
games,
in comparison to previous years?
It's been really good for me personally. It's been tough because I've been playing the 2 events. So, but in terms of quality of squash, I mean, it's just been right up there. And from a spectator's point of view, I think it's been fantastic to watch. Some exciting rallies.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? Since we've taken that tin down and widened the court for this doubles, it's definitely made it a lot more interesting. As the game's kind of evolved, it's made it a lot more attacking. Oh, a little shot down the legs.
I was going to say the first rally game might be a bit tentative. Both players just kind of, 4 players just kind of finding their way into it, but it's really opening up already. So
we saw it in the last game. Just both teams were sitting all the way through, actually trying to take a bit of advantage in the final, trying to get a bit of momentum early on.
Well, that's one thing our coaches have looked at doubles. It's very momentum. So many games it can be. You can get points, 3, 4 points in a row, and then they can go the opposite way very, very quickly. So getting momentum is very key. There's just not a lot of space in this court at the moment.
No,
especially when the ball is this warm and bouncy.
It's the thing in this men's. It's that ball gets hot, that ball starts flying, and the spaces come very hard to find. Even more so in the men's. See already the ball's pinging around so much more in comparison to the last match.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a case of.
Oh, that's great hands though to take that in from the back of the court.
It's going to be a case of whether or not these boys find that flat neck at the moment, because the ball's going to come back. All 4 guys are such good retrievers. Just a bit too much there with Greg on that one, but all 4 guys they're top players and their retrieving skills are impeccable. So.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to have to get that footstool out and put our feet up for this one. It's going to be a long one, isn't it, I think? Interesting them taking it on the forehand side to start. It's been quite a lot down that side.
Yes,
I think the Scots will look at that sort of that middle area as somewhere they can exploit, though. I think just with the 2 boys turning onto the backhand side, I think they might get a bit of fortune out of that.
Yeah, and you've got a few combinations as well off Kleiny's backhand, haven't you? It's quite deceptive at times.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got a few different options off that. But not necessarily the most orthodox, is he? He's a bit harder to read, I think, sometimes for some players.
Sometimes players can exploit that as well if you can get him right turning. But he can be unorthodox and he can be unpredictable. And he's got a nice little hold when he really likes to. When he has some time, so I think. That backhand side is where we're going to see. I think the majority. I say that the forehands getting involved a lot here. But
yeah.
At the moment, all sort of angles are being used here, so it's
tactically. Leading up to your different matches, has it been something that you really think about, like picking a player or certain spaces within the doubles? Has that been part of your preparation to it and thinking about?
Yeah, different teams will look at that and sort of target certain players. I think obviously in the past people have looked at Chinese backhand side as a possible weakness, but I think he's improved on that so much, and he is just so solid now. So obviously you're looking to target that one player, bring him up, back at him, put that pressure on him.
He certainly is a player, isn't he? When you look down those draws, you very rarely see him playing a match less than 40 minutes.
Yeah.
He's one that you probably want to avoid maybe first round, because it's going to be a bit longer in some of those World Series events. He's a tough competitor.
And I think especially in this sort of game, they do just both guys on the backhand side would not want to set anything up to either the boys on the forehand side. Greg Lobban and Campilli, their forehands are pretty lethal.
What's it like having someone like Alan's obviously been around for quite a while now? Is it, you know, you're training with him a lot, you know, what's that like in terms of having a more experienced player? Is he someone that passes on quite a lot of information, or is he a bit more reserved?
Well, I mean, he's quite a reserved player in himself, but I mean, he's definitely, you know, if you ask him questions, if you want some advice, he's definitely someone who will give you that. You know, we're a close-knit team, so we're all close friends.
Yeah.
You know, we will help each other out, support each other. Just a wee lucky knit there. Well, I mean, some would say lucky. That's maybe a good width actually.
2-1.
Yeah.
It's long first few rallies here
Yeah, it'll be our
as
first.
they try and find each other out.
I think they'll just work each other out here. It's going to be a patient game, I think, to start off with.
So saying we've got obviously the World Championships coming in December as well. Will you be joining us in December for the Worlds? We've got the men's and women's.
Yeah, it's one. Hopefully, I've got to a level now personally where I think I could hopefully get into a decent position in that event. So I'd like to think that'll be on my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting call there. I think obviously this is going to be. We've seen in the previous games the referees how important they are in these sort of matches.
So obviously your world rankings popped up now to 92. Is it obviously going into the summer block now? What are kind of your goals looking at next season? Have you got any big targets that you're trying to achieve?
Well, I mean, obviously it's difficult when you're in a doubles year, almost what we call it, you know, Commonwealth Games next year. So that is my main priority for most of us guys. So you know, something reaching into just miles, you know, just trying to kind of sustain that position within the top 100, maybe push on to sort of a top 60, top 50 would be the ultimate goal. But you know, it's gonna be a tough season with a lot of emphasis on the doubles. You know, leading up to the Gold Coast in Australia in April time. So
obviously you played the men's and the mixed. How did you find playing the two categories across the tournament? Has that been tough?
Yeah, it has been tough. I mean, at the start of the week, obviously not being used to it, I would have said I could cope with it. But I mean, it has been a battle physically and mentally. You know, doubles is such a
3-2.
You know, it's a tough game.
So you had quite a tough one yesterday in the mix with Lisa, yeah. Yeah. That seemed a close encounter.
Yeah, with the Welsh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of a battle. Not the way I think we could have played a lot better, you know. But you know, give it credit to the Welsh. Unlucky Greg, that was a tough one. Yeah, I mean, give credit to the Welsh there. They were very ballsy and they took it to us, and I think they looked like they wanted it and deserved to win it at the end, I think. So yeah, we'll take it away. We'll learn from it. So
we go. The Aussies have just built a little 2-point cushion at 4-2.
A few errors from the Scots there, just taking it into the front. A few nerves maybe.
Probably winding up on that forehand when he gets the chance, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a lovely shot from Cascali.
Yeah, I think that's fair, isn't it?
That's where, I mean, that's one of the areas where I think the Australians will look to exploit. A little body fake there.
Yeah, I think that's where, you know, Alan's gone down the other side, hasn't he, and then tried to turn back a little bit.
It's just clever there from Cascali.
5-2.
That's the thing, if you can move in a wee hold or a wee flick and on these low tins, it is very difficult to get back even for these guys.
How have you found that lower tin? You know, has that been something that a bit of a back pain, or
no? I mean,
been all right.
I mean, I think we're all quite adjusted to it. Yeah, I mean, we were having a chat with our coach Martin Heath about it. He was involved in the doubles before it was adapted, so he was playing on I think a court which was just 2 foot each side wider, and the tin was the same.
70,
and
90.
Yeah, 90
70
tin.
90.
And he just said it was brutal. You get 2.5 hour alley games. You know, it was just.
Yeah, I was in here with Sarah Fitz yesterday, and she was saying that it was just a grind.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you set your watch on, and just it would be a long match. You had to get yourself buckled in for a long one, and it was all mental, really. Came down to errors quite a lot of the time.
I can imagine there being a huge amount of winners, and yeah, compared to this now, where it's just a lot more open and it's just a lot more exciting, really, as well.
I think it's good for the audience, isn't it, that lower tin, 'cause it's just encouraged them to play the ball and have a go for it. And as much as it was part of it before, trying to use the angles and create spaces in different ways, it's even more so with the lower tin, 'cause you've got that little bit more space to attack.
Pace is pretty ferocious. It's not really dropped off at all, and I don't really expect it to drop off. That's a lovely
Certainly
little
picked
reverse,
it in them trying to pick out that mid part of the court where the two turn on their backhands. That's clearly a tactic that they've thought through, the Scots.
I mean, that's where there's a wee bit like both of them just that first step, both of them going for it there. I think that's the key where the Scots will look for this. And both teams are using this little reverse trickle boast actually very effectively. That's the last 3
it's a
points, I think.
shot you're not going to see much in singles,
No,
but it's definitely working in doubles, isn't it?
Especially that low 10, if you can get it, and that just adds a little bit of
cause a bit of chaos.
A bit of chaos in the middle there. Partners looking at each other, being like, "Who's getting that?" It's actually very. I was watching obviously the Scots play the Kiwis yesterday in the semi-final, and I think the first game was about half an hour long, with very long attritional length game rallies. It's almost polar opposite at the moment.
Yeah, that match yesterday was tough, and it was definitely it was last game going on, but it was well and truly the last game on when they finished. Most of the other courts had finished well before they had yesterday. So be interesting. Obviously, you've got Tui on the court. It's physical, but not quite as physical as the singles maybe to deal with. And do you think it will have an effect on how these guys are feeling today, having a tough encounter the day before, or?
I mean, maybe these guys are professionals. They're top professionals, so they'll know how to recover and adapt and get ready for the next match. I think it's only Cam that's playing another event this week, I think, in the mixed. So, and then he's had, obviously, unfortunately, Donna, his partner, had to withdraw yesterday with an injury. So he's had you could say he's had a bit of a rest as well compared to what you would expected. Yeah,
yesterday was a short one for them. Donna had to come off, unfortunately, halfway through. She had an injury break, came back on, and you could tell she wasn't right. She's come back off a long injury layoff, actually, hasn't she? Yeah. So it's a shame to see her.
That's interesting. On this one here, just that right down the middle, I think.
I
think
Greg's on the reffing.
I think it's.
Molet 7-3.
It would probably be more of a no-let there. Greg was just a little bit late reacting to it and hoping he could just stick his racket out. But it was a clever shot from Ryan there, right down the middle. That's the thing. If you can get that length down the middle and die, it is very, very effective. So the Australians looking strong here in the first game, actually.
Yeah, 7-3 lead in this first game.
Just a little clip there from Cam and Greg.
Yeah. We've seen a few of those across the week. There's a bit of congestion on the court. Have you been party to any of them, or have you snuck away with it?
I think.
Well, hang on. Was it Lusty got you a few times?
I think I got a bit of a battering in the game with Lusty and Adrian. I think I got a whack in the face, a whack in the backside, and also a whack in the leg with a ball. So came off a bit bruised. But there's definitely a few players walking around with a few battle scars.
Saw Al in the last two finals sporting her pink strapping, hiding the bruising. It certainly is tough as they try and get the players to play the ball, which is the right thing to do, isn't it? And trying to get the players to play the ball, but it's just trying to also bring in a bit of safety.
Yeah, and I think it's just making sure nobody gets really, really hurt.
Yeah, I think that's where the refs have got to temper it, haven't they, and try and find a balance, which is hard.
Strong rally for the Australians again, looking quite dominant. There's Greg trying to step up the court and trying to assert himself. Well, glancing that's a nice finish from Kleiny there. Well, I thought that would have been an no-let, but actually I'm mistaken.
Cuskelly right.
Look at that again on the replay.
Just, I'm not sure. I suppose there.
Yeah, I think that's where it's gone across the court, hasn't it? And it's going to the other player, and unfortunately, Greg's not really read that.
No.
to get out of the way to give Pilly a line.
There we contact there.
It's
It's difficult, and it's
7-3.
one for cause a lot of the referees as well. It's been. It's obviously this is a good stage for them to because there's not a lot of refereeing in doubles. So you look at you've got to kind of keep your eye on all players. You know, sometimes one player might not be asking, but the other player will be, and they might not see it. So it's.
You've seen them across the event. I've been watching it. They've tried to communicate to each other quite a lot on terms of feeding back on how they've managed the matches, and I think they're doing their best to try and get their head around it.
Yeah.
It's a hard one as well
Yeah.
because they're not used to it.
It's
It's a
7-3.
new environment, but you do get some interesting calls nonetheless.
There's always going to be a wee bit of a wee bit different opinions from other players. So yeah, I mean you just got to deal with it and move on. You say the referees are here and they're doing their best, and it is a different game for them as well. So that's a lot of fun there for Klein. One shot he has definitely improved on is that
Hand
quick
out,
cross court
4-7.
on his backhand. Especially when you look at the position of Pillay there, even if that had came out.
Yeah,
He was
he's
quite
got to
far
get in
behind.
front. He's got to
Yeah.
get in front there, and that's where if you're stuck behind your partner on your side, your player on your side, you just got to find a way of getting your hip in front. This is a mayhem rally going in short all the time. All sorts of angles being created.
Yeah, I don't know if it really suits either team more than the other. I think they're both well adapted to it. So
Yes, let 4-7.
Greg
Yeah,
feeling
it
a
was
wee
a
bit
bit-
hard done by there again.
All sorts of angles in that rally. It was quite a nice little show of quick pace. Trying to change it up, mix it around.
I think this is where, you know, so I'm just looking at our coaches there, Paul Bell and Martin Heath there in the front row, talking to each other, probably just trying to discuss what the Scots can do here to get a wee step forward, because it's obviously this is where they learn their buck.
Oh, that's a great finish there. That's where having
Two
that lefty
forehands,
righty,
yeah.
and you've got those
And
two
out.
forehands. He can pull that
8-4.
away. You know, Kuss shows that in the singles as well. He's got a great finish when
Yeah.
he needs it.
Yeah, not much you can do when it hits that.
Oh, what happened there?
Actually, what happened there? Well,
Looks like a little-
both teams exchanging
There we go.
flat rolling nicks on the
5-8.
cross courts anyway.
Yeah, I know. Jeez.
Just a
Oh,
wee,
it's-
just stood on his foot. I saw
A little bit of a
actually
twist.
Ryan Caskelly took a wee tumble yesterday in the semi-final with the English.
Yeah, he took a bit of a battering yesterday on that side against Deck. There was a bit of a heavy encounter.
Yeah, it looked when he went down for that first one, looked quite a bit worrying actually.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like a dead leg
Select
kind of thing, and
5-8.
he seemed to jog it off.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's affecting him too much at the moment anyway.
He seems okay. Yeah, there was a bit yesterday where he was going around in circles, I think, when he had a bit of a dead leg, but then after that he shook it off all right.
Another one. I mean, it's all down to positioning from your opponent,
And
from
out.
your partner there. I mean,
9-5.
that shot was just so effective because Pillay was in front of Greg there and gave Greg no view to the ball. You see Greg getting a wee bit frustrated there.
9-5, 4-point gap to the Aussies in this first game.
Yes, because when Scots just be a wee bit more street smart here and just try and curb the flow here, because obviously the momentum's with the Aussies, and they're both, and the Aussies are looking very, very strong and very comfortable and confident.
Yeah, it would have built them some confidence yesterday. I mean, they did play very, very well against the English pair. That's
Again,
another good finish off Kuss's forehand.
I'm afraid, yeah, it's just one you can't really stick
10-5,
up to these
game
boys.
ball.
You can't put one up nicely for Pillay and Ryan on
Caskelly.
their strong forehands. They'll just go for it.
Game.
So five game balls here in the first game. So well struck forehand from Cam.
I don't think you ever see Cam hitting a soft
No.
forehand, do you?
It's just getting harder and harder here. Oh, but what a finish. That's
Yeah,
one
I mean,
save.
You have to applaud the quality of squashing over here. You're getting a bit of a treat. There's not. I mean, I can't remember too many errors. I mean, there's a few in the middle part of that game, but at the moment we're just getting point for point winner.
Oh, changing the pace.
Yeah, there could be an option in there.
I think sometimes, here, particularly on Cam's side, I think if you can change it up a little bit, it might be a tactic that the Scots could use a little bit more.
A little kind of stop-start almost.
Yeah, just stop it up and get back in front. Take a bit of the sting off what he's doing.
No,
Ah.
Greg, yeah.
So there's the first game. Bit of a juggle of the racket.
11-6, game to Australia.
It's 11-6 first game.
One game to
It's
none.
a very strong looking performance from the Australians there. They look like they're here for business, aren't they?
Yeah, so if I wasn't nicking you to come and do the commentary, what would you be going and saying to your Scots here?
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult because they're not really doing a lot wrong. Sometimes they're just giving the boys giving the Australian guys a bit of opportunities, but just a bit tight, a bit loose even, sorry. And you can see Greg's doing a few twirls around Pilley to try and cover that ball in the corners, just getting out of position a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's the pace, isn't it? The pace that the Aussies have put into the game.
Yeah,
has
and like you said, maybe just that variation of lifting it and slowing it down, just to get himself back in front, get him back into the sort of.
I think particularly on that forehand side, there's been some strong hitting to be expected from Cam, and maybe just stopping that ball up a little bit, maybe just changing it around, might just give him a chance to get into this second game. They're going to have to start well because momentum's key to doubles. Very important momentum. We've seen it shift many times across this event. For the Aussies, I guess it's going to be a case of very much trying to keep on the front foot, keep on at them.
Yeah, I think the Aussies will come out and they'll just go solid and just apply more pressure and just see if they can break the Scots down, which is a tough ask because Greg and Kalani are very tough fighters, so they won't roll over and
they're two mentally very strong players, aren't they? We see that on the World Tour time and time again, that they're strong mentally. You'd expect them to come out strong and really put a battle into it. I wouldn't be surprised if the first few rallies are long.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be a tactic from them, just to try and get a bit of stability in the rallies, give themselves a bit more position in what they're doing. So first back onto court, we'll talk about, it's nice to see a bit of positivity, getting back on. Nice little skip there from Alan Klein.
They'll just regroup and have a little couple minutes chat, and they'll come out again. Possibly with a new new tactic, but
what's Paul Bell and Martin Heath like on the old motivational between game speeches?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they both sort of, obviously I think they're both quite, they want to be
Australia
the one
leads
person
one
to
game
chat,
to
so
love.
both of them together might be interesting. And I think they'll have similar views and similar areas that they can give advice to. They'll try and keep it as a team, not too much information, and that is a good start for the Australians, I suppose.
Whammy. Right, here we go. One love, second
One
game.
love. Right in the target, you would say. I think he's aiming for that every single serve. Serve is such a crucial thing in doubles as well. I mean, you get to see a lot of variations. I mean, I personally go for a back wall nick as well. That's what I aim for half the time.
Good little dodge there from Cuss between the legs.
I think we'll see a few of them as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, with the wider court, trying to find the angles is quite tough. That was the first thing I guess you have to get used to when you're switching onto this wider court, is trying to find that sidewall. So much more pronounced.
Just a bit like there, Greg. I mean, you see that it just opens up a wee bit of opportunity there. That wide cross court.
One love.
Onto Caskelly. Caskelly just all he could do was really boast it back up there quite softly and gave up Greg an opportunity. So
yeah, Cam's wanting a little bit more there, isn't he? We've seen a few of those given in the front part of the court. That's where the strokes might come into it if the ball's hit back at themselves. But I think there was some space there. He could have made a bit more effort, couldn't he? Does that change of pace?
I think the referees obviously just don't want to really give the strokes unless it's obvious there is a clear obstruction almost.
Oh,
So
That's a big
forehand,
hit.
and that's a
Oh,
lovely
well
little
finished.
finish from Ryan.
Yeah.
Acknowledged there by his partner.
Yeah, that.
And that's just good teamwork there.
Yeah, that's a big smash from Cam to open up, and then Cuss just finishing it off on that forehand volley. That's what we kind of were thinking to expect from the lefty-righty 2 forehands. Big hard hitting and good finishing from Cuss.
So the Scots really need to get this over the next point.
Yes, let 2 love.
I mean, there's not been a huge amount of lets as well. Both teams are obviously trying to play as much of the ball as possible, which is really good to see. Because sometimes, you know, a few of these matches can get drawn into just lets. Obviously, both teams want to play as much of the ball as they can. Turn there. Greg looks like he's trying to really kind of get in front of Pillion.
Yes, let.
Just a little bit on contact with the racket. I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yes, let 2 love.
She's in those angles there, isn't it?
Good little cover there from Kleiny.
Yeah.
Greg was a wee bit out of position there on the side wall. Could have been exploited there by the Australians, but partner comes to the rescue.
Seeing that come in a little bit more. We've seen a few lifts, haven't we?
Yeah, I think
Just
it's
changing the pace. Yeah.
it's not someone that's used in the doubles, and you can see how often it's used, and it's not used at all, a lot. But
Probably
can
seen
be
about
used quite
3 or 4.
effectively.
Yeah, I think particularly when you get stuck in that momentum of hard hitting, it's nice, isn't it? You know, we were chatting to Jenny about that yesterday. It's
Just to relieve some pressure as well, I think. Get yourself back. If you're getting the ball, that's a lovely length into the corner.
yeah,
And if you're getting the ball pummeled at you, you know,
3
3 or
love.
4 times more than that, you know, just try and give yourself a little bit of a break. Just lift it up, take a wee breather. See that ball just dying in the corner.
Craig was looking quite frustrated there, wasn't he? That's why they've got to stay mentally strong. 3
Yeah,
love down.
absolutely.
Don't want these Aussies to run away with it.
No, I think, you know, they really need to just need to get a little point on the board to relieve some pressure.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's
Yeah, I
gotta be
think
a let
that's more or less straightforward let
there.
there.
I think that's a bit of frustration
Yes,
coming
let.
out from Greg. He's
Yes,
got to be
let,
careful
3
here, I
love.
think.
Yeah, you can see a
Gotta
little
keep that
bit.
composure.
You can see a little bit there, just with that point before, obviously the ball going into the back corner, and you're just getting a bit frustrated. Greg will
3
use it.
love.
He's an experienced campaigner as well. He'll use it to his advantage. This is ferocious pace.
Ooh,
Australians really,
fending it off.
yeah, just about staying in there.
If in there, just stick a racket on it. Try and do your best. Oh,
Few
behind the
little,
back. We're getting the skills coming out here.
almost like an exhibition rally. This.
I know. It's going both sides. Lots of interchanges.
This is a brilliant rally.
Probably the best rally of the match so far, I think, this. It's good, playing through the interference. See if someone can put it away. Nice lift,
Yeah,
changing the
good link.
pace. There we go.
Yeah,
Oh.
going for that nick. It's interesting to see. Just about dodge
Yeah,
it. Just
it's
interesting to see Kleiny, you know, going across right onto Pilly's side.
Oh. Oh.
That's his nice stroke. Well, there's there's one
yeah.
to debate, I suppose.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's
Stroke
been the
two,
best rally of the
Scotland,
match, I
and
think.
out,
So many
1-3.
different skills coming into the game, and I think the pace as well. You've got to use those hands well. Looking at that, I think that should be a let. You know, it's in the back part of the court.
I think you as Greg would probably argue, I mean, there wasn't a huge amount of effort made to move out the way there from Cam. I don't know, you may disagree,
It's a bit
but
of a 50-50 one.
yeah, I think so.
Down.
Oh, unlucky from Kleiny, just a wee bit forced. I mean, got Ryan out of
Cut
a
out.
position
It's
there
the
in the
right
back
shot,
of the court.
wasn't it?
It
It's
was
the
the
right
right shot. But that's the sort of the bit of pressure that the Australians are putting on them. They have to make every shot. The Scots have to make every shot so effective, so accurate, or it'll come back at them just as.
Oh. That's where those angles. Got to be careful opening them up for that
Yeah.
big forehand. 'Cause that ball can whip away quickly.
I mean, the Scots are definitely trying to take on Cam here.
Yeah, I think sometimes that is a good tactic, isn't it? Just picking on one play and put the pressure on and keep the pressure on someone rather than spreading the pressure to the two.
I think when you've got two players
Yes,
like
left
Ryan Caskelly and
4-1.
Cam Pilley who are both equally as strong on their chosen sides, you know, there's no weak link there, so you've kind of got to go at one, one hard. See
Bit
if you
of
break it
divide
down.
and conquer, isn't it?
Yeah, bit of bully.
Down.
Ooh, that's a
There
rare,
he goes.
rare
Trying
error
to
there.
open up that space down the middle again, and then it opened up the chance to
2-4.
just put a bit of pressure on Cam. Trying to turn those hands quickly. So 2-point gap now. 4-2 in this second game.
Just reached the half-hour mark. That's not. No, that's not.
It's not the longest of our
No.
matches so far, but it certainly doesn't stop it. You never know. This could be
No net.
could still be one where you might be needing a cup of tea at the end of this game.
And
You
out
never know.
5-2.
That's a lovely little shot there. I mean, it's just that the effectiveness is the dying length there. You know, if it comes and bounces off that back wall off the first bounce, the Scots will get there. But because it's a dying length, that's why it was given a no let.
It's nice to see quite a lot of nations entering this year's doubles. We've had 12 nations enter this time, so that's up on last year's. A few different ones as well. I mean, how many different countries have you played across the event? Can you remember?
Down.
Have you come across quite a few? Or?
Yeah, I'd like to think I've
6-2.
stepped on court of the majority of the nations. So I think the Dutch have been the only ones I can't remember playing against, which is maybe they've been a good inclusion as well. Obviously, the likes of the two guys, you had Pedro Schwiemann and Dylan
6-2.
Bennett getting through to the
Yeah.
quarterfinals, completely obviously unseeded. So a little unknown quantity there, and it adds to the standard and the quality of the event. I mean, you've got nations as Kiwis, Australians, other side of the world you go Colombians. It's really well.
Yeah, I think that shows, doesn't it? Some of the nations taking doubles a bit more seriously, with 3 medals at the Commonwealth Games awarded, but also it's the same at the Pan Ams. There's medals awarded for the doubles, and there's more nations that are starting to take the doubles seriously, and I think that's shown in the quality of the squash this week. And also like the professionalism. We've seen quite a lot of teams with their full sort of support staff, physios
7-2.
and video analysis and all sorts going on behind the scenes. I think it's only going to build and build this event. I think we're going to see it feature more and more.
It's good to see the rafters are full of people watching the finals anyway. I mean, I'm sure if you could get that that spectator stand a bit bigger, you'd fill it.
Yeah, as it's gone across the week, I think the interest's grown.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys, you see the faces, a lot of the guys that have come to
Left,
watch across the week
7-2.
have come back for these finals. So we go 7-2.
Yeah,
This
Australians
is
opening up a
now-
wee lead here.
Yeah,
This is
it's looking risky for you Scots.
a dangerous time, I think. Scots just need to be a wee bit careful here. Can't really afford to drop a few more points, or it's really going to start becoming a bit of an ask, a bit of a
Yeah, it suddenly
mountain to
becomes a
climb.
big mountain to climb, doesn't it? It's a nice counter from Kleiny.
just not finding that
Just not
real
seeing it.
reward there on that counter from both sides.
That was struck hard on that forehand and taking it nicely. They're piling the pressure back on Greg, aren't they? After that first
I
bit
think,
where
yeah, I think maybe the Australians have.
Down.
Oh, unlucky clinic. I think the Australians there have just obviously noticed maybe the
8-2.
little body language, I suppose, a wee bit there.
8-2,
It's a bit of a
6-point gap.
uncharacteristic error there from Alan. Usually so solid in that backhand side. I mean, it just shows the pressure I think the Australians are putting on them. I mean, you've got to look at this game. The Australians have been they've been impeccable, really.
They've got on top and they've really looked to attack, and I think that shows where the doubles game is going for me. I think you've got to try and take it on a bit more.
Yeah.
I think it's not that the Scots haven't tried to do that. I think they
7-2
have,
Australia.
but it's just having that
10-2.
firepower
Match ball.
in the front of the court. I think if you just look, like Cam's had the better of Greg, unfortunately, on that
Yeah.
forehand side. He's hit some beautiful
Yeah.
balls, and then they've
And
had some
out.
great finishing from Cuss.
Saved one
3-10.
match ball there. So
Match
still got seven championship balls, the Australians. There's some achievement if we get the Scots back in here.
We've seen it across this week. We've seen some comebacks.
That'll be a let. Yep.
3-10.
Yep.
Match ball.
Like you say, the Scots are now knowing these boys, they'll not roll over. They'll fight to the very last point.
Well, it takes a few points and then their shoulders go tense.
Oh, it takes one of these for Cam.
Yeah.
Two, maybe a third. Maybe
Oh,
a
there
third.
we
He
go.
gets it on the
time
third one.
lucky. So there we have it. There's Ryan Cuskilly and Cam Pilley take it 2 games to love in our men's doubles final here. Thanks for joining us, Dougie.
No, thank you very much, Josh. Appreciate that.
Sorry for taking you away
11-3.
from cheering your
Game
boys
of
on,
match
but
to Australia.
thanks for
Australia
joining us in the
wins 2
commentary
games to
booth.
love.
Thank you very much.
11-6, 11-3.
so our presentations will now be proceeded on the live stream now if you want to stick with us, and you can see the trophies being awarded on this show court. And thanks again for joining us. It's been great squash across the week, and I think it really shows where doubles is going. So much better to watch, and I think across the event the venue's proved a good venue for doubles, and I think it's been quite a good spectacle this year.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been. I think it's got an exciting future. The prospects are looking good.
Thank you very much.
We hope you join us as well later on in the year in December when the World Championships comes to Manchester. We've got both the men's and the women's with equal prize money for the first year, with the early rounds starting here at the National Centre and then moving across to Manchester Central for the quarterfinals onwards. Tickets are now on sale, so people can come and buy their seats and be part of that as well for hopefully another great tournament to come to Manchester. But for now, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
begin our medal ceremony. I'd like to ask Tournament Director Paul Walters to lead on our presentation party. Would you please welcome World Squash Federation President Jacques Fontaine, Scottish Squash and Racquetball President Jim Hay, and England Squash Vice President Paul Millman. And I would now like to hand over to Paul Walters.
Before we go on to the medal ceremony, I'd just like to thank a lot of people on behalf of England Squash and Scottish Squash and Racquetball who have co-hosted the tournament this last week. My first thanks and my last thanks is going to be to the competing nations and in particular the players. You've been a credit to work with, and I hope that you've enjoyed playing this tournament as much as we've enjoyed you playing at Manchester. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation not just for the winners, but also for all the players and nations that have competed. It may have appeared a small team that have delivered this tournament, but in the background, believe me, there's been a lot of support from Scottish Squash and Racquetball and also England Squash. And it's to those two governing bodies and their staff that have been in the background, that have put in hours of preparation, working weekends, extra hours to deliver a great event. So ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for Scottish Squash and Racquetball and England Squash. The referees, volunteers have made a huge contribution to this tournament. I think the first time I ever saw doubles played was in the Commonwealth Games in 2002, and a great legacy of that tournament has been the volunteers. So for the volunteers in particular and for the referees, thank you very much for all your efforts, not just today but throughout the whole tournament. It is appreciated, it is recognised. Thank you very much. And finally, to a couple of individuals. First of all, Judy Williams, player liaison, done an absolutely wonderful job. I would hate to run a tournament without Judy. Ladies and gentlemen, Judy Williams. We have Bethan as well at the side of the court, who's been helping on the operations and looking after everything from transportation, from the hotel, and hopefully getting all of those little details that are absolutely critical for the event. So Bethan, thank you very much for her contribution. And finally, he doesn't want me to say anything, but he's done an absolutely fantastic job this week. I just spoke to Andrew Shelley, the Chief Executive Officer of the World Squash Federation, and he said to me, well, he certainly has to be the find of the tournament, and he certainly has been. I wouldn't have wanted to have done the job myself. He's done an amazing job. I think he's accommodated everyone's needs, individual or collective. Alan Mackay, competition manager, thank you for a wonderful job. And finally, to Manchester. It's just a shame that the court there is not quite able to expand as quickly as the sport has developed. But nonetheless, it's been wonderful to stage the World Doubles in Manchester. It's been fantastic in this facility again. And for everyone from Anne-Marie, Yaura Bass and the Manchester team, thank you again for hosting another World Championships and spectacular event.
Thank you, Paul. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome onto court all our medalists in the women's event. ladies and gentlemen, the presentations for the women's event. Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medalists from Australia, Rachel Grinham and Donna Urquhart. And from India, Joshua Chinappa and Deepika Palikal. Presentations to the silver medalists, ladies and gentlemen, from England, Jenny Duncalf and Alison Waters. Our gold medalists and 2017 WSF Women's World Double Champions from New Zealand, Joel King and Amanda Landers-Murphy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of New Zealand. Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation for all our medalists. Thank you. If I can, I'll just like to get a word with our gold medalists, but I'd rather you come down to me than me try to stretch up to you. Joel and Amanda, many, many congratulations retaining the title. It doesn't get much tighter than that, though, does it?
Yeah, I mean, we knew all the pairings that were entered in the women's event were going to be tough, and Jenny and Al definitely surprised us today. We've never played them before, but obviously making it to the final and beating the Indian girls, they were always going to be tough, and that's exactly what it was today. Just a few lucky ones here and there. It could have been anyone's.
So, Amanda, this is the team. It's been a team from last year. Is this a team going forward into the Commonwealth Games?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, we've been working hard and it's great to get the results today, so we'll see if we can go to the Common Games together.
Well, you're a long way from home. It's great to have you in Manchester. Ladies and gentlemen, our gold medalists, Joel King and Amanda Landers-Murphy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome onto court all our medalists in the mixed event. Ladies and gentlemen, Our bronze medalists from Australia, David Palmer and Rachel Grinham. And from Wales, Peter Creed and Tesney Evans. Our silver medalists from England, Darryl Selby and Alison Waters. Our gold medalists and the 2017 WSF Mixed World Doubles Champions from New Zealand, Paul Cole and Joel King. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of New Zealand. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a word with Joel and Paul before they lead them off. Nobody noticed, don't worry. Paul, a quick word with you. Many congratulations for retaining the title. More than that, welcome to Manchester. It's great to have you here. So, a great pairing. And success again for you and New Zealand.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's very happy to win the gold, and very thankful for my partner. She backed up straight after her women's final today and played amazing. So, it's huge respect to her. It's tough to do that.
Absolutely, back-to-back matches. So we hope to see you for World Squash in December for the World Championships. I'm sure you will. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Joel King and Paul Cole. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome onto court all our medalists in the men's event. Ladies and gentlemen, our bronze medalists from England, Declan James and James Willstrop. And from New Zealand, Paul Cole and Campbell Grayson. Our silver medalists from Scotland, Alan Klein and Greg Lobban. Our gold medalist and the 2017 WSF Men's Doubles Champions from Australia, Ryan Coskelly and Cameron Pilley. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Australia. And our final word for our gold medalists, ladies and gentlemen, if I could just have a quick word with Campbell, Cameron, with Ryan and Cameron. Congratulations. The Scottish pair, quite formidable. Obviously, they won it last year, so consequently, you must be pleased.
Yeah, we're very pleased. They got us last year. We've had a few battles over the years, and we went in with a game plan, and we probably stuck to our game plan the best we have all tournament, and it paid off. There were some brutal rallies in there, but they hit a couple more errors than us at crucial times, and we managed to keep our heads and keep our game plan together. So that paid off in the end.
Just a question, because people have asked me, and I'd like to know the answer. When you're playing doubles and you actually speak to each other, what is it you thought? What do you say?
Keep going, mate. No, we're just pretty positive. We try to stay positive the whole time. Just back each other up if we make a mistake or a winner. So it seemed to work very well this week. So we're very happy.
Well, many congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, our gold medalists, Ryan Coskelly and Cameron Pilley. I'd now like, ladies and gentlemen, to hand over to Jacques Fontaine to formally close the championships.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. I hope you understand my English. Not easy. I would like to thank, on behalf of WSF, England Squash for having hosted and perfectly organized this World Double Championships. Thanks for the players, thanks for the referee and the volunteers. And I have to declare, unfortunately, the end of the World Double Championship. Thank you.
Thank you, Jax. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have some final presentations, and I would now like to invite Paul Millman to make a presentation to our tournament referee, Wendy Danzy. I'd now like to invite Jim Hay to present a commemorative plaque to our host, England Squash. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Jax Fontaine to make a presentation to our tournament director, Paul Walters. Ladies and gentlemen, Jax Fontaine has formally closed the championships. So that brings to the end this week, a week of fantastic squash. You've been an amazing crowd. Once again, thank you to all the teams, and we look forward to seeing you back in Manchester for World Squash at the World Championships later this year. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. Have a good afternoon. Safe journey home. Thank you. Bye-bye.